Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smart Minds, Good Times. Today, I have a very special guest, Miguel Torres. Tell me a little bit about yourself, bro.
So, man, I work full time,
Okay.
but I also have like my own, I guess what you call side business.
Yeah, it's Amazon FBA, right?
Yeah, Amazon FBA. That's mainly what I focus on.
Uh-huh.
I've been doing it for about like 2 years now, but man, it's fucking hard.
How long have you been doing that?
Yeah, 2 years.
2 years, right?
Yeah, 2 years. So I started it back like my senior year in high school.
Okay.
So, it was because the only reason why I got into like the whole entrepreneurial shit
Yeah.
was because of like one of my friends in high school. His name was Colin.
Okay.
He basically he found like the drop ship model, and he started doing that like where you create your own site and
Okay.
you do Shopify.
Okay.
And like I remember like one day in the morning he came in and he was like, I just made like $2,000 like this past week. I'm like, what, how the fuck did you do that?
Yeah.
And I was like, I want in on it. And then ever since that day, like I don't know what it was, just him telling me that story and how he built it, I was like, damn, I need to get on this.
Yeah, it inspired you, right?
It inspired me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like I don't know, and ever since that day, like I never stopped like looking into it. So like I researched YouTube videos on like how to do it. I asked him for advice, even though I wasn't trying to like bother him too much because like I didn't want to waste his time because like obviously he had to learn
Yeah.
by himself as well. So like yeah, it would be easier for him to just sit there and show me everything, but it's like it's not fair at the end of the day
Yeah.
to take time out of his day.
It's like one of those
I'm
things.
not really working for it at the end of the day.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It was like, explain a little, like, basic terms. What is Amazon FBA?
So it's just like, I mean, I guess it's a term people use, but like the actual business model that it is, it's just like wholesale. So like basically I am just buying like everything in bulk from distributors and like brands.
Okay.
I'm not going to say the name of the distributors and stuff.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
that's
yeah.
like, well, one, if like other people see it, then they just like, oh, let me go make an account with them. And then
Yeah.
that defeats the whole purpose of like, yeah, I'm gatekeeping a little bit, but
Yeah, no, that's completely fine. That's what you're supposed to do.
yeah, yeah. But once they know that, then they have access to all the catalogs, and then they'll start selling it. Because all you really need is to have an LLC, and then all your business resale license, and then you open up an account with them, and then you are able to buy all these products in bulk and then sell them on Amazon as well.
Uh-huh.
That's like the basic definition of it. But the more like I guess the more detailed version is, yeah, once you get the products, you have to do certain requirements that Amazon has you do. So like, oh, some products require like labels, poly bags. If it's like a hazmat, you have to ship it by itself or in a different. You have to use a different carrier. Yeah, so it's a lot into it. It's pretty basic.
So FBA stands for Fulfilled by Amazon, right?
Fulfilled by Amazon. Yeah.
So are you technically FBA or FBM? Because that's Fulfilled by Merchant, right?
Yeah, yeah. So there's two on there. Yeah, FBA is fulfilled by Amazon, and then FBM is fulfilled by merchant. So that yeah, you're right on that.
So you're technically
the
FBM?
only- no, I'm FBA. So,
Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't explain it too well, but yeah, once I buy everything in bulk, I get them shipped either to my house or shipped to like a third party warehouse where they do all the like the prepping and then the shipping to Amazon's warehouses. And then once they get to there, they receive all the inventory, they account for it, they make sure it's like not damaged or anything, and then they put it up for sale.
Okay.
And then once it sells, they ship it directly to the customer. So I don't ever have to theoretically touch the product, but
Yeah.
in a way you still do.
But you're kind of like the one moving it. You're the middleman, right?
Yeah, it's a middleman, but it's like some people will get confused and be like, "Oh, you're just like upcharging people and stuff." Like, no,
Yeah.
it's not the same thing because it's like if you think about it, like Walmart buys from distributors and brands directly.
Yeah, you become like the retailer at that point.
Yeah,
right?
I'm basically the online retailer, and that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, because I didn't. The last 2 days, I was actually like looking a little bit into it. Like I actually watched another like podcast interview with somebody that does FBA.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you heard of the podcast called CEO Cast.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so he brought on like a guy that did drop shipping. So I was kind of like looking into that. I mean, I wanted to be able to like
Yeah, so
know a
that's
little bit what you do.
that's completely different from the whole. I mean, you can still do drop shipping on Amazon. It's just like
Oh, it was my bad. It was Amazon for FBA. I meant it was,
oh,
it was the same
Amazon
thing.
FBA?
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh huh.
yeah. It's the same thing.
Let me ask you though, like I know because last year when we talked about this, you told me you were selling cables, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
wires?
So when I first met you, like, oh, by the way, I was just like, this is off topic a little bit, but when I first met you, it's like, it's funny how when you meet people and you're like, oh, some people got in, some people don't.
Yeah.
Like when I met you, I was like, oh, this kid's onto something, because I was like, you're, like Daniel, he is very like dedicated to his goals. And then like when I met you, I was like, I think you were like 17, 16.
I was still
young.
Yeah, I was 17.
And then I was like, hearing that from a 16 or 17-year-old person, it's like rare.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm still young at the end of the day. I'm only 23.
Oh, that's young as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like still hearing it from somebody so young, I was just like, yeah, that's like, it's just inspiring to see that somebody's like after it.
Appreciate it, bro.
But I forgot what the hell we were talking about.
No, it was like one thing too. Like people like you and Danny.
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you, like when I talk with my mom will be watching this. I was like, yo, I bring up like people like y'all as example. I'll bring up y'all by name. Like
Yeah.
I was like, yo, Danny, like he's 22, he's doing this and that.
Yeah.
I was like, Miguel, he's 23, he's doing this and that. I was like, I want to get like that. You know what I'm saying? Like people, y'all are people that like I can't
That inspire you too.
Inspire me. It's
Yeah.
not like a internet or unrealistic inspiration. It's like no, it's like something you see in person. Like that is like. It's like a living proof. Like, damn, no, that is possible. Like, I could get there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I will say I'm not at the level that I want to be. Like, of course, I'm doing pretty well for it myself. Like, I don't have a college degree or anything. Like, I just graduated from high school. I did a little bit of college, but like, it was at the time. It was during COVID, and I was working full time, and then I was also going to school, and it was just too much. And at the end of the day, I was just like, I mean, like, it's either work, school, or like my side business. And I was just like, I'd rather just do work in side business, because when I first started that whole motto, I was like, I made $2,000 in 1 week, and that's what inspired me too, because I was like, my friend did it, and then I literally just did it, so like, why not just proceed this instead? Because I was like, I'm studying business. I'm like, I'm not, the classes I was taking, it was like the core classes, so I know that they're like required and you have to take it, but it was just like, I'm just gonna get a job that involves business. Why not just do my own thing?
True. And did you continue college? Did you finish it up?
No, I didn't finish it.
Okay.
I literally had like a year left.
Damn, I think you remember. You told me that.
Yeah.
What's it called?
So I went to JSARS at the community college, and I did business admin. That's what I was studying.
Okay. Business admin.
Yeah. But like, I took, out of the year and a half that I was there, I took one business class, and the rest were just like history, math. And then I think I don't know if there was a chemistry. No, I think they wanted me to take chemistry, and that's just when I was just like, I don't want to proceed with this at all, because, I mean, that whole program was just to get you to go to like a 4-year college and then get an MBA or whatever.
Yeah.
But for me, I was just like, I don't see it, because I have like a friend. I'm not gonna say his name, but I have a friend that actually went to VCU, and they had like I think he had a business degree in that, but I'm like, he's not using it for anything
till this day.
Oh,
damn.
Yeah. I mean, he could get like a pretty well job, but like he would get the same job I have right now, and I'm just the commercial sales manager for Lowe's.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up your job, but I didn't want to throw like, I didn't know you want your company out there. But how's that going?
It's pretty good. Like right now, so I've only been in that position for about a year, and like I think I was blessed to have some good mentors there. That it's like helped me, cause like now what I want to do, like it's kind of like my backup plan. I still like want to focus on my business and do that full time. Yeah. But this is like a kind of like a safety net in case. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not gonna work out, because I'm never gonna stop doing the whole Amazon FBA. But just in case, like let's say I need to, I don't know, move out or do something and start paying. Like let's say
rent, bills.
Let's say I have a kid tomorrow.
Oh, nah, bro.
and then I gotta start paying bills like for the kid and everything else.
Yeah.
I think that job would be like the district sale, because like right now I'm just for a store. I'm the commercial sales manager for a store.
But you could eventually move.
But I can move to district, and that's where I would be like managing all these top accounts for like these different companies. So like right now I just manage like some apartment complexes and stuff.
Okay.
And then they just send me like a list of materials and stuff, and then I just give it to the sales specialist. They make the quote, and then they sell it. My whole job is just to manage the sales specialist and keep that good connection with these different companies.
Okay, so at that, you're also kind of like the middleman at Lowe's between.
Yeah, exactly. That's why.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're full time at Lowe's?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit like how your schedule is between like
So
work and like
it's
Amazon
pretty
FBA?
it's pretty nice because like I get weekends off, and that's rare.
Okay.
That's rare for like technically it's a retail job, but
Uh-huh.
it's more like for businesses purposes.
Yeah, that makes
Like
sense.
so, because like I work Monday through Friday only 6 to 3, and then I mean yeah, I get weekends off, and it's only because like nobody that is doing construction or like apartment communities, they're not open on the weekends.
So like after work, like on weekdays,
Mm-hmm.
is it you go home and like I'm sure there's like work you have to do Amazon FBA. Like
Oh yeah. So like this was before I had a girlfriend, but
I remember you told
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Like I still love her and stuff, but hold on, that's not what I meant. We're gonna have to cut that off.
Do you want me to cut that out? That's funny.
All right, well, let me backtrack. Okay, so, like before I had a girlfriend. Okay, I'm not saying that this is a drag or anything now that I have a girlfriend. Before I had a girlfriend, I had a whole routine of what I was doing. So like, yeah, I would wake up at like 5 a.m., go to work at 6, or I mean, be at work at 6.
Yeah.
And then around 3:30, I would be at the gym, and then I'd be there for like an hour or an hour and a half, and then I would go home, and then I would start working on my Amazon business, and then by then, it would be time to go to sleep, and then I would just do that for like I did that for 2 years.
Okay.
Consistently.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely was taking a toll.
But I mean, it's like it didn't even bother you because something you didn't.
It was just like a routine.
Yeah.
And then like I mean, like during the week, it was just a routine. It's something I had to do, but it was like it was just tiring.
But you enjoy doing it, I'm sure.
I
right?
enjoyed doing it, yeah, but it was exhausting. Too.
I bet. No, I bet.
Yeah, having to go to the gym and then having to go back to technically to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was exhausting. I mean, there's some days where I was like, I had the best days of my life, and then some days I'm like, this is exhausting.
Yeah.
But
I mean, but that's what separates you from other people that are also doing FBA.
Yeah.
Like that's what separates you from other people because it's like I kind of relate because tell me not it's the whole Amazon FBA environment is kind of also like the stock market. It's kill or be killed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to make money off of each other.
Yeah.
So I mean, you kind of have to be able to
put
in more work than everybody else.
Like really, like the only thing with the FBA model that like holds people back is all it is if you build good relationships with these brands or distributors, but mainly distributors, if you have a good relationship with them and then you have the capital to back that up, like there's nothing that can really stop you because people are already buying stuff.
Yeah.
Like name brand products. Like for example, what is this brand called? Road.
Yeah.
Like people are already selling that on Amazon, but like the only thing that's holding me back is having a relationship with that brand.
Yeah. And
because then you could just spend like, I mean, they have different like minimum order quantities, but like I'm sure for them it's probably like you have to spend like 10,000
something like that
per order. But like if you have the money, then you're already making a good investment back.
Yeah,
it's a safe investment because you know people are already buying it.
Well, you buy in bulk, right?
Yeah.
Is it like a pallet or not necessarily?
It really depends because what I try to do, and this is like I guess for other people if they're doing Amazon FBA or if they're doing drop shipping or I don't know, just even creating your own brand, I guess, for like clothing and stuff.
Yeah.
I test buy certain products. So like, so essentially like once I get the catalog, like an Excel sheet, I use a software. It's called Scan Unlimited, and it basically scans like these huge files because the distributors have like 20,000 plus products, and you can't manually source that. So the software scans everything. And then tells you which products are profitable or not. And then from there, you go to the actual Amazon listing itself, and you use another software called Keepa, and that shows you like a graph right below the image, and it tells you like the sales history, the buy box price, which the buy box for the people that don't know is like where it says the price and then fulfilled by Amazon or fulfilled by another seller's name.
Yeah,
that is the buy box. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I saw in the interview I was watching, actually the one I watched last night, he was talking about that. It's like that software will tell you like how much you can make on it and what price it tends to sell for. Is it that same software?
Yeah, it's the same software. So as long as you're good at like one, being resourceful and having the good relationships, and then being able to analyze that graph.
Yeah.
And then like just it's all after that is just capital. You just put in like there's that huge order I put, that was like, you asked me like what do I buy in pallets or in bulk. So like there's one unit, it was these Dymo label printers. Like I don't know if you can pull up a picture.
I think you told me about them. I think you might have even
shown
me a
it's
picture,
just,
I think.
Yeah, it's just like these printers that are used for like businesses that print, like it's a small like F and SKU label. It's like 2 inches by 4.
Okay.
And it's just like for barcodes and stuff.
Do you use one of those to print your
labels? I use the same thing. So I'm selling to the resellers.
Oh, usually they say was it don't get high on your own supply though.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, so I test bought like, I think it was because I buy from this distributor and like their minimum order quantity is like $1,000. So
okay. How much like average, like not what you buy it for, but how much do those printers sell for each one?
Right. Well, it depends. So that's why you look at the sales history, and they were selling consistently for like $120. Okay. And then I was able to source them for, well, let's just hope it's still, because I had an issue with them where like they sold them to me for like $93 a piece.
Okay.
And then I usually try to negotiate the price and bring it down. So they got me down to like 91.
Oh, hell yeah.
But then they started like, I guess they put like an overstock sale or something on their site, and it was like down to 88. I'm like, what the hell? Why did you sell them for me for 91? And then I complained to them. And then they eventually, I think they dropped it to 88. And the reason why I say that is because they refunded me back like 20 grand.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I'm not sure I'll have to tell you about it later, but I'm not sure what's going on right now.
Because that's not what you needed back. That's a lot more, right?
Well, it's just like I expected them to charge me $88.
Yeah.
Or not $88, like $88 per unit. Mm-hmm. So I think the order itself was around 18 or 19,000. But yeah, it was just weird. I don't know.
So you're saying they refunded you the whole?
Yeah, they refunded me the whole thing.
So you're kind of worried you won't get that product then?
No, I already have it. That's that's the crazy part.
Yeah, no.
I already have it. It's already on Amazon's warehouse, but
it's one of those situations where you'd rather be like honest to keep that relationship, right?
Well, I'm not gonna tell them about it unless they ask. Yeah. But like, I mean, that's because that's their fault. Like, it's the same thing as if like if you order something online and they ship you two, like it's up to you if you want to be honest.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I guess I could be honest, but
yeah, because maybe they kind of see it, and then let's just say you already spent it, and they sue you for it or something, involved legally, and then they want 20 grand back.
I don't think they're gonna sue me. I think they would just see that like, oh, they accidentally refunded me, and they'd be like, yo, here's an invoice, just paid. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but back to the original thing you asked me about, like, do I order stuff in pallets or in small quantities? Yeah, so I test bought those, and I think I bought 50 the first time.
50?
Back in January, and then they sold within like a week.
All 50?
Yeah, all 50 in a week. And then I was like, damn. I was like, I need to get on these. So I ordered them, right? But they were on back order.
Okay.
I didn't get them until August.
Just now?
Yeah. I ordered 100 of them, and they didn't get here till like August. And I was like, I don't know how many months it is, but it was more than a couple months.
When something like that, in that situation, is it kind of risky because you don't know between those months the price will increase or decrease?
Yeah, it is risky.
Yeah.
But I was just like, it's such a high selling product because I think it sells over 2,000 times per month. So that's 2,000 units. Yeah. And that's not in counting, that's just counting orders. So somebody could order 2 or 3 at a time, and that makes the units go up. So that could have been like 3,000 units really. And
so let's just say, right, I'm sure you're not the only one also selling those printers.
No, there's so here's the difference between FBA and FBM. That's a good example. There's about 60 sellers on there, and only 10 are FBA. And Amazon will always prioritize the FBA because they have the faster shipping because they have it at Amazon's warehouse. So you're going to get that one-day shipping.
So, quick question. I don't mean to interrupt you.
Right? No, you're good.
If there's multiple people, let's just say I buy a printer. I go on Amazon.
Yeah.
Don't tell me who I'm buying off from. I just buy a printer, right?
Yeah.
So since they prioritize FBA, that sale will go to you instead of them? Or how does that work?
It's like, you know how I was explaining the buy box? Like if you have that buy box, like it depends on price, how good your sales history are, and then how good of a reviews you have as a seller.
Okay.
So if you have like crappy reviews, but you have a cheap price, I might have more of an expensive price, but I have really good sales review. Then Amazon's going to give me the buy box. So when you go to the app, automatically the buy box or where this says add to cart, it's gonna have my name, even though there's cheaper people on there. Yeah. I'm gonna be on there because I have like the better reviews.
So sometimes that's why it says see other options.
Yeah, see other options, and then sometimes you may find cheaper sellers, but you always have to pay attention because it might not be delivered like a month from now because they don't have it in stock yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, you may get it cheaper, but it's not available, or that seller is just crappy. But honestly, Amazon is really good on making sure they have like good customer service. Like you can't fuck around with them. Like if you start sending products that are damaged and stuff, they'll suspend your account like that.
Damn.
And that's one of the risky things. But I keep going back to the same question.
Yeah,
All right, so I'm gonna just answer this question so we can move on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I test buy, like I think I bought 50 of them, and then they sold pretty quick. So then I bought another 100, and then those sold. And then this back in September, that's when I bought that whole pallet. It was 200 units, and at first I was like, I don't know if I should buy this, but I was like, because it's 18 grand at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I was just like, fuck it, I'll just buy them. And I bought all of them. And then that's when that whole issue happened where, like, the distributor charged me $91 per unit versus, when they dropped it to 88. And I was like, damn, I'm missing out on, like, I think it was, like, only, like, $1,300 in an extra profit.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I might as well just fight for it. It's $1,300.
Yeah.
And then, I submitted them. Or I prepped them, and then I sent it to Amazon. And then once they got there, Amazon started dropping their price on them. All the way down to, like, it was like $105 a unit.
That's a big cut.
And after all the fees and everything, I wouldn't be making money on it.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm just going to hold on to them because the price is going back up.
That was the next question I was going to ask you. Has there ever been a time where you had to bring your price down to match, like, the market?
Yeah, no, it's all the time. It's consistently. So, like, with that whole Amazon thing right now. So, like they're selling them for $115 right now, and I'm selling them for $119. But the thing is, Amazon doesn't have have them in stock in all their warehouse.
Yeah.
Because like I'm able to sell across the whole country. So like some of the units that I sent, they got shipped to like California, New Jersey, and then sometimes like Florida.
Is that like their main facilities?
Like a lot of people buy from the East Coast.
Okay.
Yeah, most of Amazon's like buyers are from like the East Coast, like especially like near the northern states.
Yeah.
And for some reason, just the East Coast. Like if I'll show you a map later, but most of the times it's just like buyers on the East Coast. I don't know why. I guess it's just because people they like that. Just like that's what I was doing consistently for like a whole 2 years, but then part of me kind of regrets. Well, one, I wasn't enjoying myself too much.
Okay.
But then I was enjoying myself way too much when I started hanging out with this other friend. Let me just call him Alex. Well, his name is Alex, but
okay.
Nobody's gonna know who he is, anyways. But and I don't really care if he sees it, but
he's a good friend.
He's a good friend, yeah. But like, so we started going out like on the weekends all the time,
clubs and stuff,
shit like that, and then. It was just like we would take trips up to DC all the damn time.
Casinos? Did you ever go to casinos?
No, never casinos.
Okay.
I just went to this one club up in DC, and it's called Ultra Bar. Shout out Ultra Bar.
Ultra Bar.
Yeah, it's a fun club if you want to go, but
I'll think about it in about 3 years.
Yeah, when you're 21.
Yeah.
No, it's a fun club, but the thing is, we would just go there, and it was just, I don't know. At first, it was like the best time of your life because up there, it's DC, so like everybody's there to have fun. It's not like Richmond at all. Like here, the people like they'll act like you're just like a peasant or something.
Yeah.
Like if you can't even go up to anybody and have a conversation without them acting like a dickhead.
Yeah.
But over there, it's just like everybody's there to have a good time.
Everybody's very social and open.
Yeah, because like they're either from DC and they have like their own jobs, so they're doing their own thing, or they're just traveling, so they're there to have fun.
Yeah,
it was kind of pointless now that I see it because it was just, I don't know.
I mean, you wouldn't know about that until you live through it, like.
Yeah.
So I mean, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, everything does happen for a reason, but I wouldn't really promote that. That's why I was like, I don't really promote going to, like, especially if you're young, like you, Brian, stop going to clubs.
Bro, I haven't gone to a club in about 3 months, I think, and I don't plan on going back anytime soon. So.
Yeah, no, dude, it's a waste of time because you're already spending like what, at least $50 to $100 while you're there.
Yeah, it depends how many
for
drinks.
the cover charge. Yeah, because the cover charge up there was 20. Yeah, it's like $20 just to get into the club, and it's well worth it. But we're also not from DC, so we're paying for a hotel. That's like another $200.
Oh yeah,
and then we would stay there for 2 nights, and and what we would do is once we get there, right, we would come there on like early Friday, and then we would do our thing during the day, and then around over there you have to go early.
Okay.
If you want to just skip the lines, because we did not fuck with the lines at all.
Yeah.
So like here, if you're, I don't know, 11 o'clock, I guess that's prime time. Up in DC, you want to be in there by like 10:30 or 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
So so we would just do that, but
do they have a? We're kind of talking a little bit too much about clubs, but do they have like a? do they have like a occupant limit, like a max occupancy?
I don't even know, dude. The line is crazy.
Yeah.
Like I'm not joking about this damn line. Like if you're in there like at 11, or if you're trying to go there at 11, like the line is, I don't know, like 60 people deep. It's crazy. Like,
yeah, that's still a good amount.
That's a good amount of people. Yeah. And then it's inside. So let me explain it a little bit. It has 4 floors.
Oh, it's one of those.
Yeah, and each floor has like a different type of vibe to it. So like the first floor is like all EDM, pop and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the second floor is all Spanish. The third is rap, and then actually the basement, which is the 4th floor, it's like reggae and stuff. It's just like relaxed. Okay. But nobody really goes there, but everybody usually goes to like the first, second, and third.
Yeah, catch me at the second, bro.
Yeah, I'll be there at the second all the damn time. And that's where you have the most fun. But
I bet.
Yeah.
So, hear me out, right? So, if you started 2 years ago, how far in do you think, like, how many months do you think it was to you, like, damn, like you started, like, saying, like, oh, I'm actually, this is selling a lot, or I'm making more money, or, like.
Probably last year.
Last year.
Like, I think last year and for 2020, what is it? Damn, I forgot the year.
It's 2023. It'll be 2022.
So for the year 2022, I think in gross sales I did 210,000
for the year.
For the year,
and that's good. That's in sales, right?
Sales, yeah, that's not profit.
That's
no.
really good.
So,
yeah, I know. Yeah.
So you could label me as a 6-figure Amazon seller. Yeah. But at the end of the day, that's not profit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of other like sellers kind of misconceive people, is that the right word, or deceive people by saying that.
Because like I could pull up my phone and show you the sales and stuff, and you'd be like, holy shit, you're making a shit ton of money. But in reality, it's not a lot, because it's like it varies. It's like a 10 to 30% margin.
Yeah, but I mean, I understand that, because I mean, like, someone else would be like, oh my god, Miguel made 200,000.
Yeah, nah.
No, I'll still be like, yo, that Miguel sold $200,000 worth of product. That's still really good.
Yeah.
But I mean, I understand not all 200,000 is pocket money. It's almost like how people talk about net worth.
Yeah.
Like, oh, his net worth is $10 million. He has $10 million to make. That's not how that works.
No, it's probably like 10% of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I mean, that's impressive though.
Yeah.
To be able to sell $200,000 worth of product in a year is still really good. And I mean, it's like, I'm sure you're getting used to selling more product, dealing with higher numbers, more quantity. It's like you'll be able to get used to. Let me ask you something. If you ever do a lot of sales, do you ever plan on opening up your own like small warehouse?
Yeah, I want to get my own warehouse eventually. I don't know when that will be.
Yeah,
I think that's when I need to start. I think that's when after I quit my job, and then just start doing that full time, and then I will eventually get it, because that way I can prep my own thing. Because like right now I'm doing everything out of my garage, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just, there's
not.
No, it's just I'd rather have like a warehouse, because like I hate working from my own room.
Yeah,
because it's just like it's too many distractions. So having to physically go somewhere, like, it puts you in a different mindset to get shit done.
I feel that that's one thing me and Cameron were talking about, because remember I told you we were gonna do a studio from my room.
Yeah.
So we thought about it. I was like, yo, even though if we could do it in my room, it's better we do it somewhere else. That way it makes it feel like kind of like an office scenery.
Yeah, kind of like office.
You're there to do shit, and you leave once you're done. So it kind of puts you in that kind of work type of mentality. So I completely get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And so like when you find products, because like I remember last year I asked you like, yo, so why do you sell cables? And you're like,
because they sell.
Because they sell, yeah. And I was like, I was like, it's a very quick answer, but it's really why. Because I thought about it, like, why do people sell bricks? Not because they love bricks. Because
I guess
because they sell.
People need them.
Do you ever sell? Do you ever like sell like what are the best products to buy? Like seasonal things? Like, do you ever buy seasonal things?
Yeah, like I bought toys and shit before. So like when the Iron Man movie came out, I bought these like Funko Pops from a distributor, and it was like the Iron Man, but I forgot what the thing is called. But you know that the hammer that Thor not Thor. What's the purple dude?
The purple dude, Thanos.
Thanos, yeah. Thanos, the
gauntlet.
Yeah, the gauntlet. Yeah. So Thor is wearing it, and that's the Funko Pop, and those things were selling like crazy.
Damn.
So yeah, like seasonal, it's good, but it's just like not consistent. So it's just like a one-time thing.
Let me ask you something, right? Let's just say when you know how some products go like they're the trend or they're viral.
Yeah.
Let's just say like they're so hyped up. Mm-hmm. They're selling on Amazon they're reselling they're selling for $150, right?
You talking about like the Prime bottle or something?
Yeah, anything, right? Let's just say, could you still go to the distributor and get them at wholesale price, or will they also upcharge it because they know what they're selling for?
They wouldn't upcharge it because so there's a brand right now actually. It's called Celtic Sea Salt. It went viral like on the internet. Like I really haven't seen it go viral, but so like that's what the distributor was telling me. Like, yeah, this product went viral on the internet. And everybody's buying it. And like if you sell it on Amazon, you could sell it for 3 times, like actually like 4 or 5 times what it's actually worth. So like I was buying this, like it's just literally like one little container of salt. Nothing special about it. But it's just the brand behind it. It's like worth $2 at wholesale price. I was selling it for like $20. And people were still buying it. It sells out within like days. But the problem is, like, if you go to these distributors, back to your question, like, if you're trying to buy it, they're not going to upcharge me, but they're also not going to have it. Because everybody already bought them.
That makes sense.
So you could probably buy them at, like, Walmart or somewhere and buy them at, like, wholesale or retail price and then still make some money. But, like, the problem is just finding them because there's just such a high demand for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the last 2 years, how many different products have you sold? Like, you said printers, cables...
I'd say over 200 units because it's all about testing it.
Wait, 200 different things?
Probably like 200 different things, yeah.
Out of those 200, like, give me like 5, 10 that like, you know, like...
I probably have like 10 to 15 consistent ones that consistently sell.
Till this day?
Till this day, yeah.
Okay, damn.
Like the cables, the ones I showed you, that's been like my bread and butter. For 2 years I've been selling that, and I think I've sold over... Actually, let me pull it up. I don't know the exact number.
Like you have a good relationship with the...
Oh, yeah. So like with them, like I get a really good price because I've been buying them forever.
Yeah.
So in the past 12 months, I've sold 2,000 units of them, and I'll show you if you want to see. But
yeah, damn.
Yeah, just don't show that on camera.
No. That's crazy.
Yeah. So that's just in the past year.
I'm sure like, you know, like you've been doing it for 2 years. You're like, these months are slow, these months are fast. Do you think after like tax season it picks up a little bit or
tax season? Yeah. Fuck tax season. I just want to say that because, bro, when I did my taxes, I did them late, so that was my fault. But like self-employment tax, it's a bitch.
Okay.
It's a complete bitch because like they tax like another. So you think you made all this money, and then they tax you like 25%, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, that's ridiculous.
So, when you
it takes like a huge chunks of your profit. I'm like, if I was like doing this full time, like let's say like I didn't have a job or anything, and then I was solely relying on the income from this. Like if I'm like a small pop-in shop, and I'm like making this amount of money, and then they hit me with this damn self-employment tax. Bro, that's a huge chunk of money that they're taking out.
And I'm not sure with Amazon FBA, is that considered capital gains tax?
No. So it's a 1099. So you're basically like I think it's a contractor for Amazon.
Like a subcontractor?
Yeah. So like if you do, I feel like you do freelance work, and you're basically working under a company. That's all it is.
Okay.
Like I'm still my own company at the end of the day. I still have an LLC, but I'm technically working under Amazon's company.
That makes sense. Yeah.
That's why I get a 1099 at the end of the year. But yeah, that self-employment tax was not fun at all because I think in the coming year, I was talking to the tax guy, which he's fucking sucks too because you know how you go to your
personal tax guy.
I think he's just like a family tax guy, and then so that's why I went to him because like my dad was like, oh, he knows. So I was like, I went, but he really doesn't know much about what I do because it's just something new. Like this online thing is just something new that they're not used to. Yeah, they're just not used to like knowing like how to help you. He's a pretty good guy though, so he's helped me. Like his advice for this coming year was just like switch it from an LLC to an S corp. So for people that don't know, an LLC is still kind of like you're gonna get hit with that self-employment tax versus an S corp. You're separating yourself from the business, so you're now paying yourself as an employee. So technically, when I move to an S corp, which I've hoped to do this coming year, I'm going to be paying myself like a salary technically. And it has to be like a reasonable salary too. Otherwise, they're going to audit you and you don't want to get audited. But yeah, you'll start paying like the employee taxes and then the company will get charged. But it's less than the self-employment because I think I don't know the exact number, but it's ridiculous. It's like 25% or 20.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a lot, yeah. And I think the self-employment or the S corp from employee tax and business, I think it's only like 15%.
Okay, and another question I forgot to ask you earlier. When you sell on Amazon, what fees or comes with that?
Yeah. So there's multiple fees. And that's why like some people think they're making money, but they're actually not.
Yeah.
Because if you don't pay attention to them, you're fucked. So there's the referral fee, which is Amazon's like, it's not a flat rate because it depends on what you're selling. It's typically like 15%.
Is that the way of like charging you for advertisement?
Yeah. So basically, so you're not advertising at all, but they already have the customers on there. Like people already go on Amazon to buy it. Yeah. So like, let's say for simple math, you're selling a product that's $100. Amazon's going to take $15 from that.
That's a lot. And
then to ship the product, it depends on how heavy it is, but it ranges anywhere from, I would say, $3 to $8 in shipping. And then they also they do a good thing, but like they take account for the shipping that it costs you to ship it to their warehouse.
So they pay for that?
They don't pay for it. You pay for it, but well, at the end of the day, the customer pays for everything. But
yeah,
they like per unit, it's usually like 20 cents just to ship it to Amazon. So like a whole box, if you ship like something that's like 100 units in a box, like it like averages to like 20 cents to 50 cents a unit to send it to Amazon's warehouse. So that's like kind of like the fees. And then after that, whatever your cost is for buying the product, and then that's your profit.
So the margins could be relatively small though, right?
Yeah, like especially when you're like that's like what a hard thing I had understanding, because like all these gurus and stuff, they like advertise it like, oh yeah, you're gonna be making like 25% is the average, and I'm like, it is the average once you get the ball rolling, but in your first like year or two, don't expect a 25% margin. That like you're doing really good if you have a 25% margin. Like you expect like 5 to 10.
Because you have to have a good
relationship
with. Because to get that 25%, you kind of have to have like
you have
connections on both sides, selling and buying, right?
Yeah, just like well, not really selling, but more just like having a good connection when you're sourcing that inventory, like when you're buying it from that distributor. Because I have an account with one distributor that I know a lot of big sellers already have accounts. Yeah. The difference between me and them is that they have already established a relationship that's been there for years, so they're getting better pricing than I am. Even though we have the same connection, they just have that like history of with them, and then they have that connection that where they can ask them for like bigger discounts.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So that's all it is. It's just all a relationship. But it's the same thing in real life. If you know somebody, they'll hook you up.
Oh yeah, this is one thing I was gonna ask you. Like, is there certain products that like, right when you're selling something, it's gonna be like a quantity or like if you're selling something expensive, it'll be like, okay, I don't have to sell as many, but the margin's a little bigger. But if you're selling something with smaller margins, it's like a quantity product, like like let's just say, I don't know, toothbrush, something that sells very regular compared to a printer.
So like with the printers, like you want to have like a decent margin, I guess. Yeah. Because those bitches are expensive. And and when people return them, they're not gonna return them in the box sealed. They're gonna rip them, like the box is gonna be torn open. So like it's not worth buying them if you're only making like a 3% or 5% margin. Okay. Like I'm still, for those printers, I'm only averaging like 15%, but I'm like,
it's still really good though.
I was like, it's worth it for those damn printers. Yeah. But for like other products, like like if it's like something like, I also sell like plumber's putty, and that thing, it costs me like $1. Okay. To source it, and then to sell it on Amazon, it's like $9-10. So I was still making like $2 or $3 at the end of the day.
That's still, you're making like, that's still like a 300% return though, right?
Well, after all the fees and shit. Now, so right, the referral fee, they take that, and then the shipping. that's what takes up the majority of it. Yeah. So after all that, I'm only left with like $2 or $3, which I think it's like it's around there because it used to sell it for like $12, but then a lot of people found the listing, and now it's only selling for like $9. It's only like a 15% margin. Huh. But the thing is, like, if that moves quicker, so like, I'll buy more, even if it doesn't, like, if some people return it and they damage it, I'm like, it's at the end of the day, it's only $1.
Yeah, another question I had that I didn't ask when you said about the toys, right?
Yeah.
So, like, mainly, I'm sure this is just, like, from a guess. You can tell me if I'm right or wrong, but toys mainly sell during holiday season, right?
Well, they sell all year long, but like, a lot of them sell during, like, right now.
Okay.
Because people, like, it's just gift season, so.
Do you ever buy them, like, let's just say earlier in June and hold them?
I should.
Do a lot of people do that?
Yeah, most people that are, like, well-established and that they sell seasonal products, I'm sure they do that.
Yeah.
I really haven't because, like, I've just been focusing on other stuff, like the printers and then cables. I'm looking more for consistency because, like, even though, like, with toys and stuff, yeah, you can make a lot more money and they'll sell out like that.
Yeah.
After the season's over, then you're left with nothing else to sell.
Yeah.
That's why I'm mainly focusing on something that sells consistently versus like something temporary. Like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna start doing actually, probably within a week or two.
Oh,
start sourcing some toys or hopefully get my hands on whatever is left over. Because usually for like anything that's seasonal, like people start buying 2 or 3 months before.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
It's almost like recently clothes. You'll buy like the jackets and stuff in the summer once they're cheap.
Yeah.
And sell them in
the winter.
Yeah. This is just like, I'm not saying I would want to get into it because I know that's learning a whole nother game like that. You remember one thing you told me?
If you like stocks, stick with it.
I remember you told me that.
Yeah.
You were like, yo, it's like once you know what you want, once you know what you like, you already learned a little, stick to it because that one thing will be more consistent than trying to do 3 different things.
You don't want to do 10 different things.
But for somebody that does want to get to it, that's maybe watching, what's something like you would like tell them, like what's a piece of advice you learned? Like what's one of the biggest lessons you learned?
I guess the biggest lesson is just once you learn it, just actually implement, actually start it. Okay. And then like, yeah, it's good to do like your research, how to do everything and stuff, but then just start putting your like foot forward, and then like everything else will figure itself out.
The hardest part is starting?
The hardest part is really just taking action. Because like when I first started, I was doing so much research on like this one product. I'm like, all right, well, it's selling this many times a month, selling for this price. If I source it now, then I'll be able to make money. But I would take too long figuring out if it's going to sell versus, buying 10 different things and seeing if one of those sells versus just focusing on one. So it's really just don't overthink it. Just start it. Yeah, just start it and then stay consistent with it.
Has there ever been like a product that maybe you've bought like a good amount of units and I mean this is a game. You don't always make profit, but you didn't get a return or you broke even on it?
It's all the time. But that's why I only test buy. I only buy like 10, 20 units at a time.
Okay.
And then like if I know most of the time, like you don't lose much money, to be honest.
Okay.
Like if you do, you'll lose some money, but like you have other products that are making you money.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to lose money when you're getting it at wholesale, right?
Well, no, you can still lose money, believe it or not. Like Amazon, as big of a platform it is, like they're always focused on the cheapest price. So like especially Amazon, like once Amazon starts selling it I don't know what it is, but I think it's just because they're just Amazon. They can come to a brand and be like, we're the biggest seller in the country. Like we sell 56% of like all online sales. And then once they start selling it, they just get the cheapest price ever, and they can sell it for the cheapest price.
Is it called undercut?
Yeah, undercut.
Everyone, damn.
They undercut almost pretty much everybody. Damn. But sometimes they don't. It all depends on. It's like listing by listing. But most of the times, if they hop on it, they will undercut everybody, because they're not charging themselves that advertisement fee. I mean, they still have the marketing they have to do, but like they don't have to charge themselves that huge of a fee because it's normally 15%.
So you know how like on Amazon, one thing I noticed like with these boom arms, right?
Yeah.
I went on Amazon. Mm-hmm. They all look the same. Mm-hmm. Like maybe they all get them from the same distributor, but they just changed maybe like the logo on there or something.
Yeah.
And I see Amazon sells like their own
like label. Yeah, it's called private label. So, especially like a lot of supplements. Like a lot of people, they get into that supplement game. They'll buy from the same manufacturer. They'll just slap their own label. So like, I mean, I'm sure this is a pretty big brand. I'm sure they have their own manufacturer, but like, I don't know if this water.
It's great value water.
Great value.
Basically,
so there's water at Lowe's, right? It's called Niagara.
Oh yeah, I've heard of
right?
it. Yeah.
So Lowe's buys from the same manufacturer, and right on the bottle you'll see it's like made by Niagara manufacturer or whatever. So that's what it is. Like, yeah, they can have the same manufacturer and just slap a different logo on it. It'll be the same thing.
Have you ever tried about getting into that, or that's a whole
private label? Maybe in the future, but just right now, nah. Because you're basically putting a lot of money in at that point because you have to market it.
Okay.
You have to market, like, you have to get people to want to buy that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, versus, like, all right, for example, like, back to this. Like, if I want to start selling my own version of these and put my own logo on it, nobody's going to know what it is. Maybe I'll get a few sales there and then because, I mean, it's just a microphone.
Yeah.
And then some people, like, oh, it's a good price or whatever, I'll buy it. But they have that logo right behind it, so that's what's making people want to buy them. So that just takes a lot of effort, in my opinion.
You're trying to beat reputability?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I don't think that's my expertise yet. Like, yeah, I could probably get into it, but like I like finding stuff that sells already.
Yeah.
And then just selling it.
Let me ask you something, right? How do you because there's so many different kinds of products on Amazon and different like categories. I know the game is most of the game is just finding the right product, and it's easier said than done. But how do you find the right product? Like, what categories you mainly look into?
So, I mean, a lot of people in the space, they like focus on like grocery categories.
Okay.
And they find luck in that. Like, I find some luck on it, but most of my luck has been in like office supplies, really.
Okay.
So question. Like
wait, quick question.
Yeah.
Do they do the grocery because it's something people come back and get?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So it's the same concept though, because I do like office supplies. Like, businesses are always buying like more cables. Like, those are like cash drawer cables, the ones I was talking to you about.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what exactly it is, but it's like an ink maintenance box, and you put it in your printer for like one of those like big commercial printers like you see at an office. It like collects something that the printer uses or something. It's maybe like whatever the hell comes out of the ink. I don't know. But people are buying it consistently every month. So yeah, stuff like that. Those are called replenishables. Items that are like
wear and tear, kind of?
Like that items that people are constantly using.
Okay.
Like water bottles.
Okay.
Grocery items and stuff like that's why people find luck in that because they're just consistent.
You know what?
Versus like it's like wants and needs, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that got me thinking to like the whole like not exactly Amazon FBA, but the fact like distributor getting a wholesale. Is when I was buying these foam panels right here.
Yeah.
Because I think about it, bro. This is just foam. It probably cost them like maybe a couple cents per panel.
Yeah.
So I think, and they sell them for like almost $50 for a pack of 48. I'm sure the margins on that are really good. Yeah. But it just got me thinking. Like, I was talking to cameraman, I was like, bro, people make money out of anything and everything. So it was like, because like people make money out of this selling this table or everything. So like, I guess it's all about trying to find your little.
You're like your niche guy, I guess.
And you just need like your little piece of the pie too.
Yeah, because I mean, if you think about it, Amazon's, I can't remember the exact number, but they sell like over billions and billions of dollars. I bet. And you only need like a little small percentage of that to even be a multi-millionaire, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. And you know,
because it's over like 56 of people in the United States, they buy from Amazon. It's over half.
Oh, quick question. Just curiosity. How does Prime Day go for FBA sellers?
So that's like July 14th to 13th.
I think it's 11th and 12th this past year was.
Something like that. I don't even know. But yeah. I don't really. I probably should look into it more. But yeah, that's just like a day where Amazon drops their fees. Not completely, but like they give you like a discount on them essentially. And that way you're able to drop your price, still make the same amount of money per unit, but you're selling more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's where the quantity kicks in, right?
And actually, you want to know the reason why they do that?
Yeah.
Because the slowest months, I think they did like a survey or whatever, the slowest months is in July.
Really?
For online sales, yeah.
It's because like the like, is it like, do you think like maybe during the summer is like where there's no really big holidays going on?
Yeah, there's really no, like, because after July 4th, I don't know, what is there? There's no really.
How much? Probably
How much?
the next day will probably be like Halloween, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like Halloween, or, I mean, I guess St. Patty's Day, if anybody really celebrates that.
You know, this is kind of on topic and off topic, but do you think like holidays were man-made just for businesses, just to bring in sales, like an event?
Yeah, that's a man-made holiday.
Yeah.
Prime Day.
Yeah.
It's a man-made holiday. That's how it was able to, like, generate all that revenue when it's, like, usually supposed to be, like, the slowest time of the year for them.
Oh, it's crazy how they smart as hell.
Yeah, they're smart as hell.
Yeah. You know, have out there.
We're back from our short break.
Okay. I think the only thing Amazon FBA wise, the only thing I have not brought up is this, and it's like, cause I saw that you use like business credit, right?
Yeah.
What are the pros and cons of using business credit to like buy
traveling
supplies? Huh?
Traveling. So like if you use
that's
credit,
huh? That's a pro or a con?
No, that's a pro.
Okay.
It's for sure a pro. Like I think the only con with credit is like if you misuse it, you're fucked. Like you'll start paying like huge interest if you can't pay it back.
Yeah.
But other than that, like there's so much pros to it. Like there's nothing that is against it because one, it's helping you, especially if you're using like the right business cards or personal cards or whatever. Like they're gonna start giving you points, and then those points you can start using them for like hotels, planes, whatever you want, even concerts and stuff on there. But it's selective on what, depending on the travel portal. Like if you're using Chase, you can only use it for like certain hotels, certain airlines and stuff. But most times it's like United, Blue, and all those other ones.
Yeah.
So it's not like restrictive at all, but like. So I'm taking a trip to Vegas for my birthday this October, and it's all.
When's your birthday?
October 25th.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, so I'm about to be 24. Like no longer young 20s. I'm in my mid 20s now.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, so, that whole trip is basically paid for by credit cards.
By the points,
but like
right?
the hotel is paid for and the planes paid for.
Oh yeah.
Because like with the credit card the business credit card I use, you get a point for every dollar you spend. Up to I think 200,000, but I haven't spent $200,000 this year. So, yeah, like the whole hotel was paid for, flight was paid for, so and the only thing I really have to pay for is like food, anything else we do there, but
expenses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you use your how do you use your business credit card for like getting supplies? Because you know how you told me. I'm gonna bring like a little scenario, like example, right? When you ordered the printers back in January,
but you
didn't get them until August. Let's just say you had used your business credit to buy them in January, but you're not seeing any return. You're not getting any sales because you.
So basically,
how do you pay the interest on that?
No, so I didn't get charged until I actually received the products.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, back ordered, but technically I just agreed to them that I wanted them.
Okay.
I wasn't like, they don't charge me anything until I receive the products, and then the 30 days start there so yeah, but
the cycle starts there.
Yeah, the cycle starts. So
okay.
But so this is where it's not tricky, but it's just like different distributors allow you to use credit cards and some don't because they have to pay the credit card fees.
Okay.
Some have like a better payment process than others. That's why like some, they don't care if you use a credit card or not. Most of them, they want you to use like an ACH transfer or just a wire transfer.
Okay.
And for the ones that don't, like that they don't care about you using a credit card, you should take advantage of those because you're already spending that money. You might as well get rewarded for it. And same thing with like any other credit cards you use, like even personal. Like the cards that I recommend are the Chase Freedom Unlimited.
I was about to ask that. So
Chase Freedom Unlimited.
Personal credit card?
This is personal.
Okay. Hold on.
So like, all right. So
Chase.
Do you have a credit card?
I was gonna ask you a question because I just turned 18. I have a credit card,
okay,
but it's
so
technically under my mom's name.
That's perfect.
I need to get my own, so I'm gonna take note of this.
All right, so take note of this, and this is for like this is what I'm telling my younger brothers.
I'll come back and watch this. So
Yeah. So, when you first start out, the easiest credit card to get is the Discover It card.
Discover It.
That's the easiest card to get when you turn 18 because my parents, like Hispanic, they don't know anything about credit.
Yeah.
And they don't believe in it at all. So
really?
And I get it. I mean, it's not their fault. It's just the way that they were brought up.
Yeah.
But they don't have any credit before I did basically. So I had to start from like scratch. So I actually paid a mentor. It was like $1,000 back in like 2019. Okay. And he basically taught me all this information. That's how like he taught me travel hacks, which I'll share some for you because that way you're able to take advantage of this. I'm not gonna share it on camera because yeah, because that shit's secretive. So essentially what he told me to do, and this was all like on stories that he puts on his Instagram highlights. If you have no credit or like bad credit, you start out with the Discover It card. From there, you can move to any other cards as long as you have like 6 months of like good credit history. The reason for is because I don't know why, but the Discover It card is just really easy to get. Okay. You can either get that or a secure card. A secure card is like, let's say for example, you go to the bank and you're like, I want to get a credit card, and they're like, okay, well you can get the secure card because that one, all you do is you put money as like a deposit essentially. And then that's your limit. So like if you put $1,000, you'll get $1,000 credit limit. But then that sucks because you have to put $1,000 in. Yeah. But with the Discover It card, it's an actual credit line, and they don't take any of your money, and you get to start using it for pretty much anything. And then the next card I'd recommend is the Chase Freedom Unlimited, which is probably one of the best cards to use for daily spenders. Okay. But another card, a good card to have, is the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Preferred. Yeah, because the reason why, that one, there's an annual fee. It's an $80 annual fee. The reason why you want to have it is because if you combine it with the Chase Unlimited and the Chase Sapphire Preferred, the Chase Sapphire Preferred gives you the travel portal for Chase. Okay. And it gives you all the benefits of like, so you get like a $100 hotel credit. Okay. So that's already paying for the annual fee. And it has a bunch of other rewards like for the points, the hotels, and all that. It unlocks that portal. But the Chase Freedom Unlimited, there's no annual fee. And I don't know the exact point system, but it gives you much more points than the Chase Sapphire Preferred, even though the Chase Sapphire Preferred has an annual fee. Okay. But like for gas and stuff, you get more points for buying stuff like that. So that's one thing I recommend. And then as far as business, definitely, well, obviously Amex is the best for all of them. I don't have any yet because the fee is ridiculously, it's like $500. Yeah. It's well worth the money. And there's actually a way, which I'll show you after the podcast, I know how to do. You can waive that fee. Really? You don't have to pay the fee. The
only way I've heard of that is like if you're in the Marines or military or something. But
no. Okay. There's a certain way. Huh. I mean, I'll tell you, but you just cut it off the podcast.
Yeah. So like, I'm gonna cut that out, right? But coming back to the business credit card, in order for you to apply for like a business credit card and get like a limit.
Here's another, like, I'll show you more of the benefits after the podcast. Like I have like the whole course and how to do everything. I'll share that with you, but don't fucking quote on me if you're gonna use this tactic. Yeah. Or put my name out there, but legally, as long as you put that you make less than $100,000, they don't really check it. Okay. So like, you know how when they ask you like how much money do you make per year? Yeah. You can put, I usually just put like 80 or 90,000.
Right below the mark.
Yeah. Okay. And then they don't check, but they still give you a higher credit limit because people get scared when they're like, oh, I'm gonna get a huge credit line and then start spending too much. Obviously, don't be a dumbass and start.
Just discipline.
Yeah. Don't start spending. If you have a $10,000 credit limit, don't spend $10,000 a month if you can't pay it back. But if you have a higher credit line, it lowers your utilization rate. So technically you're supposed to have like a less than 35, I think. Okay. But that way your credit doesn't get hit because this stuff you can share. But what I'm about to say, if you pay it like 3 days before the statement due date, and then you wait, I think 2 or 3 days afterwards of not using the card, then when they report it to the credit bureaus, you get hit with a 0% utilization rate, which looks really good because it looks like you're just paying off the card completely. Yeah. And then you're under that 35% utilization rate.
I thought, quick question. I've heard it's bad to pay off your credit card in one payment every month, like, because at the same time, banks want you to kind of
they want you to use it.
Yeah, and have that.
Well, that's why you're paying it like 3 days before. Yeah. And then you're not using it like a couple of days after the statement due date. You're still using it because like For example, I made the mistake, and I didn't even know this. I have the Apple card, and it's the limit wasn't high at the time. It was only like $1,200. So what I did is, like, if you go to Apple and then you try to get like a phone or whatever, they give you the monthly plan.
I saw that.
0 interest, which is a really good benefit. So I like recommend it if people are doing it. But the only thing is, if you're buying like $1,000 phone, it's gonna hit your utilization rate like that you're using like 90% of that card. Like, because my limit was so low, it was only like 1,500, and the phone. Well, this is not to gloat or anything, but I bought my parents' phone, and I think the total was 1,400 or something.
Yeah.
But I put that in a payment plan because I'm like, I'll just pay it off within a year or two. But then my credit got hit, and they're like, you're using like 90% of your utilization rate, because that one card, even though I had like 3 or 4 other cards, that utilization rate was so high because it's almost 90% of that card's limit. That way you have to like you should spread it out around different cards.
Let me ask you something, right? So I have a credit card with my mom, but I'm just an authorized user on it, I believe.
Oh, so yeah, that
does that build credit to my name too?
Yeah, dude. Okay. So especially like, I don't know your mom's credit or anything.
What is the limit?
No, I don't know like anything about your mom or anything, but like
her credit's good.
Yeah, so if she has really, that's one thing that you're super blessed with. If you have a parent that has like good credit, have them add you to an authorized user, for whatever card, and then because their good credit reflects onto you.
I've been an authorized user for like almost since I was like 15. I think.
So like, if you don't mind me asking, what's your credit score?
Limit?
Credit score.
I'll be honest, I don't know. And when I asked my mom, like, hey, how do I check credit score? One thing she always tells me is, like, never go out and check it, because even though it's free, it affects my credit score by checking, I think. Or something like that. I think like a FICO score.
I think that would be like, I mean, I've heard of it, but I think, so if you use Experian, like the app, Experian, they don't check your credit or anything. They don't do like because what you're asking is like a hard pull. That's like what happens when you go to like get a loan or something, they do a hard pull, versus like a soft pull where they just look at your credit, but they don't really like look too deep into it, and it doesn't affect your credit.
I can't check my credit score by going on my Bank of America app, can I?
No, so you can, like, Credit Karma is good because it shows you like kind of like a base score word, but Experian shows you the most because there's 3 different credit bureaus. There's the Experian, TransUnion, and then what's the other one? I'm not sure. Equifax or some shit. So back to what I was saying.
You said like
so there's 3 credit bureaus. There's the TransUnion, Equifax, and then Experian. TransUnion mainly like car dealerships use that. I think Experian is the one that, don't quote me on it, but I think that's for like houses, like your mortgages, stuff like that.
Look, so like the credit card I'm an authorized user with my mom is the credit limit on that is a $4,500 limit.
Okay.
I tend not to go past like my tend not to go past like 1,300, 1,400. Like, that's like me pushing it, 1,300, 1,400.
I mean, not really, because like if you do what I just told you, like if you pay it 3 days before your statement due date, and then you wait to use it, maybe like a day or 3 days after the date, the credit utilization is gonna look like 0, and then it bumps up your score.
Okay.
I would try it, and then your score should bump up.
Okay.
But if you already have like a parent that has a good credit and you're added as an authorized user, definitely get your own card. And then you'll see that their good credit is going to reflect onto you.
Okay. It's
because like right now for me, it says I only have like 4 years of credit history versus you'll probably have like, I don't know, however your mom's had credit.
Okay. So it would,
and it all reflects to you. So you get all the benefits versus you don't get any of the downsides, and it doesn't affect her or anything. So like the only thing is, I think if you're an authorized user, you just have to pay her back, because you're using her card technically. That's it. So like, this is one thing I was gonna ask you. So if I'm looking to get a credit card, I just turned 18, so it's like it's better to start now. Yeah.
But should I do a little bit more research and before I get just any credit cards, just so like, even though like, let's say I take maybe like another 2-3 months before I get one, but I start with a good plan, good credit card. Yeah. That would benefit me more than just getting any credit card, right?
Yeah. So one thing I would definitely advise you on: stay away from any store credit cards. Like, don't go to Bass Pro Shops and get a Bass Pro.
Or Macy's and stuff.
Macy's or stuff like that. Those are the worst freaking credit cards because they offer you no benefits at all. Like, I mean, unless you really buy in there, but they're definitely not worth it. Like the best card from a very beginner is to Discover It, but that's if you have zero credit or anything.
Okay.
But I think since you already have like a decent, because your mom has really good credit.
Yeah.
And then all those years of built credit will reflect onto you. So I would advise you to get like the Chase Unlimited or the Chase Sapphire Preferred. But you should have both of them.
I should have both.
You should have both of them. Everybody should have those.
I was about to ask you which one would you prefer, but I should have both.
Yeah, because like the Chase Unlimited, like if you don't plan on traveling that much, I would just get the Chase Unlimited. Okay. Because it gives you a lot of points back. But if you do want to travel and start using the benefits of it, because like when you apply for it, they give you like an incentive, and it's like it depends on the year, during like the year when you apply. But I think when I got it, they gave me 80,000 or 90,000 points. Okay. Just for applying, and that's like if you put that into dollar amount, it's like $900.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. So
is it like one of those things where I can make an appointment at Chase and kind of talk to an accountant there, like a banker there, or kind of like get a quote and stuff online?
You don't have. You can do it online.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do it online. And plus, Chase is weird. Like I've gone to them and like I want to go to the bank and kind of establish that relationship, but most of the times they're like, yeah, just go online and do it. Okay. So I'm like, what the hell is the point of the bank then if I got to do everything online? But yeah, like definitely get that card.
Yeah, because like a lot of the things I think everything I've bought for the podcast. Because I mean, it's not like I have
put it on debt, like your debit card or your credit.
I put it on my debit card, which might have been an error, right?
I mean, it is like people. You can say it is, but like it doesn't really matter. Like, yeah. But it's still good to put everything on a credit card because you're using other people's money.
True. Yeah,
and you're building your credit up.
Right. Maybe this could have been a good move, but I don't think I'm at that point. I wasn't at that point yet, or I'm not at the point either now. But if I wanted to, couldn't I have put the podcast as an LLC and rolling everything off as a write-off or...
It's a business's purpose.
All the equipment and everything?
Yeah, you still can.
I still can?
Yeah, because it's still like... Do you have an LLC?
I don't.
You can still file for like a self-employed if you do make money from it. And technically, I still would, because that's the benefit of an LLC. Once you have it, even if you're not making money your first year, you can go into the negative because you have a job that backs it up. Yeah. So like you can say you made negative money from the business, but you have your W-2 to back it up to say that like, oh, I'm supporting myself with my job, but like, yeah, my business didn't make much money. And you could write off everything, dude. Yeah. Even this whole room, like you're paying rent for it. Yeah. You could write that off. Because all the lighting, the cameras and stuff, like I would definitely do that. Your mileage. Yeah. Even if like, all right, if the IRS is watching this.
If the IRS, I live an hour away.
Yeah, you live an hour away. I'm not advising anybody to do this, but you could skew it a little bit. Okay. Like you say you drove 40 miles per day or something.
And it's like one thing I was talking to my parents about yesterday is like we were talking about Donald Trump. We were actually talking about the Hillary Clinton and his debate in 2016, like when Trump called her out on like he said like, oh, I don't pay taxes, right? Yeah. Because Hillary Clinton was like, oh, he pays no taxes, and Trump was like, yeah, I don't pay taxes. And look, you've been in the office so long. Mm-hmm. Why don't you do something about the tax code? Because her and her donors and friends take advantage of the same tax code.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like I don't understand.
Everybody that does anything business related, nobody wants to pay taxes.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I don't understand why people get mad. Like I guess I'm not at the point where I'm on the other side of it, but like I understand them because I want to get like them. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, they pay no taxes, we should charge them more. No, because they're the ones creating jobs and
all right. I'm not financially literate, I guess. Well, I am to an extent, but I wouldn't say I'm an expert in this. But if you think about it, like if you're just raising the taxes, like the people that are getting fucked are the people that are in the middle class and lower class. Because if you just raise the taxes, the people that are rich are gonna find ways to still pay the least amount of taxes.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. That's how the game goes.
Yeah, it's just how it is. Like, because as a W-2, you can't write off much besides like, oh, you have 3 kids and maybe some few things. But once you have an LLC, everything's up for grabs to write off. Obviously, you have to be within reason. Yeah. But like for example, all this stuff, You could write it off. Like, let's just say you're doing this for fun, so only your friends and family could see it, like the podcast. You wouldn't be able to write anything off.
Okay.
But if you're doing it for a business purpose, like, dude, everything. I mean, literally everything. Like the like, if you're paying electricity for this damn room, the rent, the styrofoam, all this is written off. And it actually, you might get money back, because if you put if you register negative for the year, I'm not saying you made no money, but like if you register negative, they'll give you a tax return, or a bigger tax return. Okay. Yeah, and an LLC only costs like $150. Really? Yeah. It's $150 just to register, and then it's $50 annually.
I'm actually gonna think about that, because like, you know, one thing, because my dad and my dad has his own company, and my mom is the accountant in the house. Like, she runs all the bills, receipts, everything, tax, all that stuff. So I mean, it's one of the reasons why she has good credit, because she's good with money. Yeah. But it's like, she always told me about that, like, you know, like tax write-offs and stuff. Like, one thing I did, maybe a lot of things I can pull back up, like receipt or track history of what I bought, but I have a spreadsheet of how much I've spent on every single item.
That's good, yeah. Then you can go to your accountant and be like, I bought this, and that.
Yeah.
Like the only reason you would need to have receipts and like show proof that you bought it is like if the IRS is like, all right, we're gonna audit you. Okay. Like, show us that you actually bought all this shit.
I think they probably do that just to cover their ass a little, maybe then.
I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I think it's like, let's say you show that you lost like 20 grand. Yeah. Or something ridiculous. Then they'll be like, all right, something's up, you know? Like, how were you able to like maintain yourself if you lost all this money? Yeah. You know? But other than that, it's like, it's fair game, really.
When did you get your first credit card?
18.
18?
Yeah. So that's when I was just like, I don't know. I think it was because I was still doing the whole business thing.
Yeah.
So that was like, damn, I have no credit. I was like, let me get my shit together. So that's why, like, when you were asking me, like, is it good to start now? I'm like, dude, it's the perfect time. Yeah. You're 18. You need to start building your credit ASAP. But
I figured that.
Yeah, but like, since you're already an authorized user, you already have that good credit history. Just apply for the Chase Freedom Unlimited.
I will. Yeah. I'll do that maybe like
it's
next 2 weeks.
Yeah, there's no annual fee, and then just start using that for everything, like anything you buy.
And what would be like after how long would you recommend me to use that until like I maybe move to
another card?
Yeah. Or something I could hold.
I think it's like 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
What would be like the next step? Like maybe an Amex or?
Yeah, that's when you like. Let's say you start. So here's a secret I'll share with you. That way you can. So the only way
cut it out.
No. Okay. You can keep it. I don't give a shit. Like people are gonna get confused anyways.
Yeah.
Even if I explain it for you, but I'll show you how to do this, because when you apply for these sign up bonuses, like the ones that are like 80,000 points or whatever, and they give you like a 3-month threshold to spend like $3,000, $5,000 within those months, then you'll get those points. You don't actually have to spend $3,000. So the way you do that is like, do you have a Costco card or a Sam's Club?
I have a BJ's and a Sam's Club, yeah.
Okay, Sam's Club, perfect. So I think you can still do it in Apple. Apple's a good choice too, but I think Sam's Club would work better.
Okay.
So the method that you could utilize to get those points without actually spending money, and this is just good in general, like if you just want to get points for your card, that way you can travel, you can go to a Sam's Club or a Costco or an Apple store, and you can do what's called a split payment. So you're going to be paying with a credit card and a debit card, and you're going to pay 90% on the credit card and 10% with the debit card. But obviously you don't tell the cashier like, hey, I want to pay 90% of this on the credit card.
Yeah, you just pay what you want.
You're just like, if it's like, let's say $10,000, just for example, this crazy example, I want to pay 9,000 of this on the credit card, and then the other 1,000 on my debit card, just for easy math. And then you wait a day, you return the product, and then they're gonna ask you, where do you want to return the card? Don't say your debit card, because then that's a flag for them. Say, I want to return it back to my card ending and whatever, and all the money that you just spent is going to get returned to the debit card. But you're still showing that it's spent on the credit card, and you use the money from your debit card that's essentially in your bank to pay off the credit card, because the credit card companies are thinking that you're spending all that money, but you're realistically not. It's a cycle.
Oh, shit.
So you're getting points. Yeah, that's a cheat code, but...
Damn, and is that like something like very known or?
No, not very. No. So don't.
I could take that out. Yeah. You want me to take that out?
No, you can keep it on here.
Look, I feel like if somebody.
So the thing with that is a lot of people they don't know how to do it. Like what I just told you is how it's done, but then some people like will fuck up and be like, oh, put it back on my debit card.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, nah, we got to put it back on the credit card. I don't know if it's like it's not fraud or anything. It's totally legal. There's nothing wrong with it, but like obviously they don't want you doing that because they're getting hit with the transaction fees and all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why they don't want you doing it. But it's a good way to, like, one, build your credit if you had bad credit, but you don't, so that's not a problem. But it's good if you just want to travel and get points. So, like, what I first did was I went to Sam's Club and bought, like, a bunch of small computers and stuff because they're easy to carry. I'm not going to carry, like, something super expensive there that I'm going to have to haul in my truck and then go back and return it, you know. Just get, like, a $3,000 computer, pay a certain amount with the credit card, and then pay the rest with the debit.
Oh,
yeah.
Damn, no, I'm actually. I would tell you, like, I'm actually like, it has me thinking because like I would say like I have had like that was a thing I had for like the last month. Like I know that it was in the back of my head like credit card. I need to get that's like something I need to get.
Yeah.
Now, but I want to go. I want to be smart about it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's another question why I asked you when did you get your first credit card? Because you said your parents didn't really like use credit
for anything till this day. They still don't.
How did you ever like? I mean, I'm sure you have because that's how you learn. But did you ever like use it in a wrong way? Like maybe spent too much or just?
Nah, never.
You were always smart about it.
I think since I learned from that guy, I've always had like good knowledge. I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but at least I have some credit knowledge, and to utilize it correctly.
Okay.
Because I'm not like, oh, I have $1,000 limit. That means I could spend $1,000 on something. I'm not a big spender, to be honest. Like, I don't really like. I'll buy stuff. I'm more towards like building something for like later. Like I want to buy my house in the coming year, so I want to like save money up for that. But like as far as spending money on like clothes, even food, dude, like that's something like remember I
told you.
I was like, food is the biggest killer for you.
Yeah.
What it is for me too, but like what I started doing is like on Fridays, like I pack my lunch and I'll eat that for the whole week, and then on Fridays, then I'll be like, all right, maybe I can treat myself to get in some Chipotle or something.
Yeah, I need to start doing that.
Yeah, no, it's the biggest killer. That and alcohol.
Yeah.
Like the biggest money spender.
Yeah.
You'll notice that if you start looking at your credit card,
I would say the only reason
most of it's gonna be food and gas or alcohol. But
yeah, when I do spend money on alcohol, I don't really spend money on it as I like
as you used to.
No, I mean, because I never really spent too much on it because I get a really good price at the place I go to. Yeah, like you know how like a normal margarita would be like maybe almost $15.
Yeah,
I'll probably pay like half. Sometimes they don't even charge.
Like $7,
something like that. Sometimes they don't. Yeah. Sometimes they won't even charge me certain things.
This place.
It's my go-to spot. I don't want to leak it, but it's I'll cut this out. It's right. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's like another way of the connections. Like you know how you get a better
like
price.
Knowing somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that it's. I don't think it's an unfair thing because it's like knowing something requires getting to know someone and making that connection requires work too.
Yeah, it does require work, but at the end of the day, it's like the other person's favor too.
Yeah,
like it's if they want to do it or not.
It's like because even like one thing they can't discount me on is food. So, but let's say every time I go, maybe I do get a plate of food. They'll basically charge me close to nothing on the alcohol. So it's like I keep coming back and some.
Yeah,
it's like.
I mean, it's with life. Like if you know people, you'll go far, or you won't have to pay as much. Like because you know like singers and rappers and all that. Like they'll have features and stuff. Yeah. They'll charge like I don't know how much it is, but like if you're good friends with them,
they won't even charge you.
Yeah. So it's the same concept.
Yeah. Damn. I'll tell you. Yeah, I'm glad we got to talk about the credit cards because I'm gonna go home, probably watch this. When I go to edit it, and I'm like, I will be while I'm watching, I will look up like the Chase, apply for that. And
yeah, Chase is pretty good. I'd say they're one of the best banks.
I think they're the largest bank, right?
I don't know about largest. Like I can tell you the shittiest banks though.
Like valuation wise, JP Morgan Chase is the biggest one.
Yeah. Well, because you know their payment processor. You know who they process for?
The process for Bank of America?
No, they're the payment processor for Amazon.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
So maybe you are right. It is. They probably are one of the biggest ones. But
It's by a long shot because they all have all those banks have their own stocks.
mm-hmm.
Bank of America is second in highest valuation.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that. It's the worst bank in that and Wells Fargo are the worst banks in the United States.
They're the worst?
Yeah, because you know all those Wells Fargo, like I think my dad was a victim of one of them, but they were making fake accounts back then. I think Bank of America was doing something as well too, but they're more well known for it. Bank of America and Wells Fargo are like the shittiest banks ever because they have terrible like customer service. I think that's a known fact or not a known fact, but it's just known. And then they also like they created fake accounts under other people's names, and then at one point, like I can't remember exactly because I was young, but like my dad at this bank near Broad Street, down like near towards Centerville, like over there towards Goochland.
Yeah,
there was a clerk there that was, I'm pretty sure she was making fake accounts under people's names and then taking money out of their account.
Oh damn.
Yeah, so my dad lost like a decent amount of money from that.
And that's not something that's protected by the FDIC?
I can't remember what happened because I was young, dude. So I didn't really ask my parents that.
Because
I was like 8, but I knew I knew kind of sort of what was going on. All I know was that like my dad was getting his money stolen.
It's crazy because I think it is the FDIC. That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
They protect up to 250,000, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's why like rich people have like different banks.
Yeah.
Because you can make different banks and then have the same amount of money insured.
Yeah, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, but those are that's what I'm trying to get out of because right now I have Wells Fargo.
You do?
Yeah, and I'm trying to go have my personal because I have like my business checking with Chase.
Yeah.
But I want to get my personal with Chase as well.
Okay.
Because I don't know. Wells Fargo is just after hearing all that and also having like seen what my dad experienced, I'm like, yeah, they're a shitty bank. I don't want to deal with them.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna definitely look into that to get into Chase. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What's it called? You say you want to get a house soon, like in around a year or two or something?
Yeah, like a year or so.
You have an idea where you want to move to?
I don't know for sure, dude, because it's expensive right now.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's like the interest rates are 8%, but like that's just the average. That's like even if you have a good score. Like when I got my car like a couple of months ago, it was
it the Jeep?
No, that's my girlfriend's car.
Oh, that was your girlfriend's car? Yeah. She's whipping a Jeep?
Yeah, she's whipping a Jeep.
Which one did you end up getting?
What car I get?
Yeah.
Oh, I got a Mazda 6, the Grand Touring.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So so I put that because I wanted to have good credit for that. So that's why I got a credit loan for that. Okay. That way I could like, it looks good that I can deal with a high loan for eventually when I buy a house. So that's why I put it on the credit. And then funny thing is when I went to go get that loan, they were like, yeah, you're going to get hit with like 8%. I'm like, what? I was like,
crazy.
Because I have a 780, right, credit score.
Yeah, I think, right? Perfect is 800, right?
No, 850.
850, okay.
Well, that's like 800. It's just like you're basically perfect at that point. But I was like 8%. I was like, I have really good score and like I make decent money. I'm like, why am I getting hit with such a high score or a high interest rate? And they're like, it's just the time. And I'm like, at first I didn't believe it. I was like, I thought they were trying to rip me off because it was a dealership. Yeah. But no, that's the average. Yeah. So for like a house, like I think that's average too. But like if you think about it, it's like all supply and demand.
I think the interest rates, because they do it, the Federal Reserve does a CPI every like couple weeks, every month. So I think the interest rates actually dropped a little bit lower. I think they were right about 6-ish% now. I don't know how long ago that was that you did that.
This was back in May.
Yeah, okay. I think they did. I think they might be around like 6.5% now, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, but that's still crazy.
Yeah, because like, but it's, yeah, I mean, after COVID, that's basically when everything got fucked. Because all the houses, like, some of these houses are not worth what they're worth, you know?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because like, I'm trying to buy like a house that's around the 300 range, or maybe a little bit less, just for my own sanity. But like, if I would have bought it before 2020, I would have gotten a good price on it. Like for a decent house.
And interest rates would have been like what, 2.5%?
2.5%, yeah. I mean, But the good part is not many people are like willing to pay that 8% right now. So some are just staying in the same house they're living in, or they're just living in an apartment until they can, buy their own house.
Yeah.
But it's still a good time to buy because there's not much competition for it because those interest rates are so high. So you can just buy the house now, eat the bullet, pay maybe that 8% for a year or two, and then refinance in the hopes of getting a lower interest rate. But you're still going to get maybe, hopefully, a better house than having to compete with all these other people.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm saying it's right now all inflation, interest rates, everything is it's eating up middle class, and it's kind of hard to.
Dude, like $100,000 was worth more like before 2020. It was just like that was the baseline to get, or that was like the goal, I guess.
Yeah.
Like now it's still good.
Yeah.
But it's not as much as it was before. Like 100,000, that gets you a house.
Yeah,
that's crazy to think about. That 100,000, that makes you like financially dependent. Like you can buy your own house individually. Like right now, like I'm hoping to buy a house with my brother.
Okay, like moving together.
Yeah, that way we like can, well, that way we can both like, well, one, live on our own.
Yeah,
and then not have that big burden of the house. Because even then, I still might need him to qualify, but who knows? I might be all right by then.
Older or younger?
He's younger. He's like he's 19. I think he's at cameraman's age.
Damn, he's young. Yeah. You teach your younger brother like good advice financially stuff.
Well, him not so much because he's just like he's doing his own thing. But I did get him on like as an authorized user on my credit. That way he gets the benefits of it.
Is he taking the entrepreneurial side too?
No.
Wait. Who? I mean, it's just curiosity. Like, what's he looking to do?
So he already graduated. So he went into culinary.
Okay.
Yeah. So he went into the culinary arts, and then he's working at a restaurant right now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So
because I think it's like, I think a big part of where you go in life is, the earlier you know what you want to do, it's like it dictates how far you actually go. Because if I keep switching, like, let's say, oh, I want to be an electrician, but maybe next month I want to be a nurse, and then I change, I want to work at Walmart. I'm not building any progress, any stability. So it's like, I think the younger you know what you want to do and work towards that.
And it's tough to know when you're young because, like,
it is.
You can have this whole, like, mindset of, like, oh, I want to be a doctor when I grow up because that's, like, what I wanted to be. But, like, when I got into high school, I was like, maybe I don't want to be a doctor. It's, like, 8 years of studying. It's all this damn money. Yeah. It's like, maybe I'll look into something lower. So I was like, maybe I'll do nursing.
Yeah.
And then I actually applied for a trade school, like, while going to school.
For nursing?
Yeah, for nursing. And then, like, the first orientation day, they're like, yeah, I'm just going to give it to you guys straight up. You are going to be cleaning old people. That means cleaning their shit. That means, I was like, I'm out.
Oh, yeah,
I was like, I'm gone. I was like, fuck this. We'll be back from break.
All right.
So what was that question again? The Puerto Rico story.
Yeah,
Puerto Rico. So, with the credit card, so I have funny stories about that too, but so my girlfriend, basically, she's the one that booked the flights. Okay. So I didn't use my credit card for that, so I just paid my half, and then she paid her half. Okay. And then the hotel was all paid for by credit cards, so that was technically free, I guess you can say. And then when we got there, like, we also needed a car because, like, Puerto Rico, it's a small island, but, like, we wanted to do things and not have to, like, Uber everywhere.
Yeah.
So we got a rental car. And rental cars are expensive, dude. They're like $100 a day. So
that's a lot. Yeah,
one of the things that my mentor taught me is like car hacking too. Not like stealing. We're not stealing cars, by the way. But it's like you're getting these rental cars at a cheaper rate because you're using. I'm not gonna say what it is, but you're using the rental car sites, and then you're able to use like codes and stuff.
Okay.
I can show you those codes later if you want to get like a rental. But essentially, what I did is I made a national. I think it's called National Car. I made an account for them, and then I was able to status match them using like I think a Best Western, like their diamond status.
Okay.
And I showed them that I was a diamond status for them. They matched it to their national, so I was like a executive elite under the national. That's what they call it. Okay. So I would book the cheapest car, which is like just like an economy car.
Yeah.
And then, hold on, I think I need to backtrack a little bit. Yeah, so I'd book the cheapest car, and then when I get there, actually, fuck, I completely forgot this.
Yeah.
I fucked this up.
It's all good.
All right. So when I book the car, I use the codes, and that gives me a cheaper rate. So instead of paying like $120, I'm paying it was like $40.
Oh hell yeah!
For a flat rate for I think 4 different types: economy, SUV, midsize, and standard. And I got the standard because the standard,
like sedan?
if yeah, that's what this is called. It's just so it's called economy cars, midsize, SUVs, and then standard. Standard are like your like sedans, but like a little bit nicer than the economy cars.
Okay.
So you were getting you can get all of those for the same price of $40, but you might as well just get the standard and get the little bit nicer one. But since I have the executive elite status, which I can, I think if I remember correctly, I'll show you later about how to do it. You just, when you go to pick up the car, because I'm basically picking up the standard car for $40 a day, I go to the booth and I tell them like, hey, what kind of cars can I get for the executive elite status? And they're like, they'll show you a whole line of cars. And we were able to get a Jeep. Well, normally it's like $200 a day.
I bet.
Yeah, normally it's $200 a day, and we got it for $40 a day.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
There's huge savings on that. But then, funny story. So back to how my girlfriend, she's the one that booked the tickets. So she booked them from Baltimore to San Juan. Okay. It was this direct flight. On the way back, we had to take a layover. But I think she booked the Baltimore to San Juan and one ticket, and then booked them separately, not like round trip. She did like, I think, one-way tickets separately.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's what she did. When she was booking the return flight from San Juan to back to like the, because we flew out of Baltimore back to like the States, she booked it from San Juan to Newark.
Okay.
And then back to Dulles. But keep in mind, we drove up there to Baltimore.
Yeah.
And then when we realized that like the day before leaving Puerto Rico, we're like, we're gonna end up in fucking Dulles, and my car's in Baltimore. Yeah. So I was like, what the fuck are we doing there? So we were like, well, I mean, we're going to Newark. Why don't we just go we get off the layover at the airport in Newark. Yeah. Don't take the flight to Newark to Dulles, and then just take the train, you know, because you can take a train from Newark to
Baltimore.
To Baltimore, and we're like, all right, let's just spend the day in New York, and we'll take the train, and then we'll go back to Baltimore. So we did that, right? Yeah. Bro, I kid you not. As soon as we take the train, back to Baltimore, we're like, oh, cool. All right, let's go get the car now. And then we're getting to the car, and I'm like, shit, where are my keys at? I'm like, fuck.
Where'd you leave them?
I left them in the flight. Because you know how you can put the luggage under? So they were on the way to Dulles. Yeah. So I left my keys in there. So I'm like, and this was like at 12 o'clock at night. So then I had to get another rental car. I did the same thing. I used one of the codes I used for the national car thing. Yeah. And I got a car it was like $40. And then I went to the guy. And I'm like, what car can I get for the executive lead status? And, bro, he pointed to, we were, like, standing right in front of him. He was like, oh, they're behind you. We look behind us, and they're, like, these Audis. And I'm like, I'm not even going to question him. I'm just grabbing this fucking Audi. So I grabbed the Audi. Yeah. And that car was, like, it was $300 a day or something like that.
Yeah, you got it for 40?
I got it it was a brand new, like, 50 miles on it. Damn. Yeah, but it was just to go from, literally, we only used it for 2 hours. It was to go from BWI, which was in Baltimore, all the way to Dulles to go get my bag. Luckily, I don't know what happened that day, but a lot of the bags they were just there in a pile. Huh. Yeah, like in Dulles. So I found my bag, and I'm like, thank God my bag's still here and my keys are here. Yeah. Then we drove all the way back up to BWI, dropped off the rental, and then got my car. Yeah.
Damn, it was a good 4 hours in the Audi though.
Yeah, dude, that Audi was nice. It was a 20 something.
Was it like the Quattro model, or was it like a?
Yeah, it was one of those. It was a sedan. It was the, fuck, I can't remember. Yeah. What's the? It starts with an S, no?
S.
The S5 and the S7. It was like an S7 or something like
that. Okay.
I don't know. Damn, it was really nice though. Yeah. But for like, it was after their fees and everything. It was only like $60.
That's not bad at all.
For that whole day. Yeah. I could have had it for like another couple more hours, but I didn't because I was just like, I just needed it to get down there and then back.
That's funny though.
Yeah, it's just like never let your girlfriend book
it. Oh my god, that's funny.
She even admits it. It was funny though. Like, I'm also glad that like she's one of those people that doesn't care. Like she just goes with the flow. So that's one thing I love her.
Okay, that's good. I mean, that's good mentality.
Because like the entire time, like we could have been pissed off. Like damn, why did you book these flights? Like you're an idiot. Like I was just like, it's whatever. I'm having fun. It's like it's just another experience. That like I'm able to tell you that story. I'm like
everything happens for a reason.
Yeah,
maybe it was meant to come on the podcast.
Yeah, I was like, we're stupid as shit for booking it that way, but it's whatever.
It's like that's another thing I think I was talking to my parents about yesterday. It was like you can't walk through life caring too much about everything because let's just say you were mad. It already happened. Getting mad is not gonna change anything.
No, it doesn't. And that's like I think one thing I'm trying to learn too.
Is like you
not care so much because like I probably overanalyze things too much.
That makes sense.
She tells me I have ADHD, so we'll see.
You know, this is actually it's good that you brought up ADHD because you know what I don't know. I feel like sometimes I feel like I have ADHD. I always have to be doing something.
Yeah, so I always feel that too, and that's why like maybe it's a drive I have for like trying to have my own business. But like I don't know if you noticed, but like in school, were you like the kid that could sit still, or were you always tapping your feet or?
You know what's crazy? I was the biggest class clown, which is crazy that like I was one of those kids. You know, it's like kind of corny to say it. People are like, oh yeah, I was one of those kids, but I was really one of those kids that people thought like. I would end up working in McDonald's, but like everybody, because I was just always doing dumb things, and my way of being I wasn't well spoken. I didn't have a good mindset. I was always trying to do dumb things because I always felt the need to be doing something, right? But I mean, that's why it's like I don't think intelligence has anything to do with grades. That's you know what I'm saying?
No, it doesn't. It's like how resourceful you are.
Yeah,
and if you're willing to work.
Yeah.
It.
I honestly, I'll be honest, I really do think I have ADHD, and it's like
they're doing a self-diagnostic here.
Yeah. It's like cameraman. It's like right when we be after normal recordings are like around like 8, and they'll go from like 8 to 10, something like that.
Yeah.
And then it's time to chill after. You know, what I'm saying they're back there in the patio.
Yeah.
Cameraman. I cannot stand. I have to be doing something, bro. I can't sit.
I feel that though.
It's like you know, it's one thing I realize this too.
Are you like fidgety? Cause like
yes, very. I have a keychain that I always have on my key spinning.
Yeah,
I really think I have ADHD.
You might be. I took a test and that's like on one of those online ones, and they're like, yeah, you might have it. But, but it's like this is another topic we could talk about. Do you believe that? All right, so like in the generation that we live in, I feel like a lot of people, like I'm not discrediting people or saying that it doesn't exist or whatever, but I do believe that a lot of people don't actually have depression.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think it's all in your head.
I think, well, some people do. I do believe it's real, but I think, like, if you talk to anybody, they're like, oh, I have depression. I'm like, there's no way everybody can have depression.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a depressive episode, but I don't think you're clinically diagnosed to have it for the rest of your life. Like, you know how the people that actually have it are.
Yeah, and they're on meds and stuff.
Yeah, I think
it's so bad.
I think it's just like a thing. Like, I know my generation, and maybe your generation too, but like they use it as an excuse. That way they're like, oh, it's my depression. That's why I'm like that. So
and they walk through life with that mindset.
Yeah, they walk through life with that mindset. It's like a victim. Guilty.
Victim mentality.
Yeah, it's a victim mentality.
And it's like one thing I was talking about on the episode with my teacher. With two of my American friends that came on. I was saying like that victim mentality, but like with being a person of color, right? If you go into, and this is another thing I was talking to my parents about yesterday. My dad was like, yeah, because like he was giving an example. Like if I were to go walk into the gym, I feel like, while Trump was in office, I feel like people were just looking at me because I'm Hispanic. I was like, that's all in your head. I was like, you can't walk through life with that excuse as in like.
That's true, but like. I do think some people do have, like, it's not a complete victim mentality. Like, for example, immigrants. Like, if you're talking about your dad, like, I'm sure he did have some disadvantages.
a bit
from other people.
Yeah.
Like if you're like I guess an American and your dad's an immigrant, like I think there is some sort of disadvantages. Not completely because your dad still worked hard and he still started his own business.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like because like some people can be brought up in an environment where like, you know, let's say you live in the hood, for example, and you're just surrounded by violence and
that's all you know.
And that's all you know.
Yeah.
It's not like but if you're raised by like good parents, they might not be rich or anything, but you're raised with a good mindset,
and good, like good values.
Good values, and then you become successful. I wouldn't say like it like you still have like kind of the same you still have the same opportunities.
Yeah.
As like the person that grew up in the hood.
Yeah.
But that person was raised differently. So I guess you don't really have, in a sense, the same, I guess, mindset, really.
I think, I mean, I
so
guess.
It's not their fault that they grew up in the hood, but it's whether they want to keep that mindset, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
Because they could grow up there and then just do the same stuff, or they could be like, you know, I could try to do something else different. But of course, it's hard because they grew up with that.
I'll give you a good example, and it's actually what my dad is like. My dad grew up in Mexico, and I think I brought this up in another podcast. It's like my dad, his best friend, and whatever they were like in Mexico, like they, you know, what I'm saying, they were in the streets, like in the little, like back then when it was neighborhood gangs. It was like, I mean, it was like cartels, like neighborhood like gangs and stuff like that. He was in that, and you know, what I'm saying, he was like him and his best friend, like he was the only one between him and his best friend that actually got out of that. He came here and realized he didn't want to do that life. But like my dad's best friend ended up staying there.
And part of it?
Never moved out of that mentality.
Yeah.
Last time I saw him, I think was back when I was a freshman. But happened to find out, I think 2 years ago, he disappeared. But it's like once you're in that and you disappear, you know what happens in Mexico. It's like you know what I'm saying? You're
in a ditch somewhere.
Yeah. That's how it goes, but it's because he didn't move. He never made it out of that mindset.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Because no, I used to think the same way you're thinking of, like, oh, just, you know, as long as you have a good mentality, you should be fine. But then like, I kind of understand some people's like reasoning for like, oh, I grew up in the hood and stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, it's still you still have to be, what's it called? I guess like. I don't know the word. Like accountable. There you go. Yeah. Like accountable. Like, yeah, you can say that was your environment, and you may not have like a mom or dad growing up, and they probably didn't show you a good example. But you know, we live in a society where you have like the internet.
Oh yeah.
So like you could see things and be like, okay, maybe this is not normal, or like I shouldn't grow up in this, or like I shouldn't grow up in this, but like. Yeah, my environment sucks, but I could probably turn it into something good.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of those like different types of do we call it culture or just like mindsets are very brainwashing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I don't want to like sound like racist or anything, right? But it's like urban culture, and this has nothing to do with color, right? But let's just say rappers, all these other things.
What's the music, dude? Like I feel like a lot of them is just like they all flex this lifestyle, and then like a bunch of little kids will think like, oh yeah, shooting guns and having sex with a bunch of random people is the lifestyle.
Yeah, and it's
because like I'm idolizing these people, I'm looking up to these, but it's like,
and they never step back and be like, these people, these rappers maybe don't even fully live that lifestyle or want to live off of that. They just know what sticks, and they're making money off of that mentality. Like people, like we were saying earlier, that people idolize them.
Yeah, people idolize them.
Yeah, so
yeah, but like. It's a good example you brought up about your dad, though. Like, he had a friend that grew up in the same environment, but then your dad changed it.
Yeah, and they were neighbors, too. It was like, you know what I'm saying? They
came so it's all, like, mentality, I guess.
Yeah, I'm a strong believer in that. You know,
I do believe in that, too. But I think there's, like...
I think it's a fair playing field, but where you start may not be the exact same position.
It's not the same position. Like, you may have a disadvantage, but you definitely don't have to stay there. Yeah. Like, some things may hold you back, but you never... have to fully stay in that situation. Like, you can always turn it into something good.
Yeah.
It's
like I really think, like you said, with social media is like, social media is like, you can use it to your advantage if you really want to. You can be on TikTok all day watching stupid videos if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Or you can be on TikTok learning these travel hacks, credit card, or how to maybe not learn how to do FBA, just get the idea of it and then spark an interest there. that's social media is how I started with the whole stocks thing. That's you know what I'm saying. But it was like, damn, I was using the tools I had. You know what I'm saying. I didn't have to go to school for any of that.
Yeah.
It was like to start a podcast and stuff like that. I never worked the camera before this. Like I used social like the internet to my ability. I very well could have used the internet to how to do this TikTok dance. I don't know. Something that doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But it's like all that knowledge is there at your disposal. It's all how you want to capitalize off of it. Mm-hmm. I'm sure with the Amazon FBA, even though you had a buddy that you learned off of Connor.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I didn't learn anything Amazon related from him.
You just it was just the inspiration then, right?
It's because he was doing the Shopify dropshipping.
Oh, okay,
something completely different. It's like where you built your own website and then source the products from a website called AliExpress, which you could still use. It's kind of like Cheyenne or Shein.
Shein, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just like for all products and stuff.
Have you heard of the new one, Temu?
No, never.
It's like it's same thing.
Yeah, kind of like Wish too.
Yeah,
same thing. You get these products from China and then it takes like 3 weeks to get here.
Yep.
Yeah, same thing like that. But no, I learned it all on like YouTube and stuff. So, I mean, I'd say I'm blessed though, because like my parents weren't really about my ass about having to work too much when I was in high school. Like they did, like in the summers I was working, but during the school year I wasn't really working, if that makes sense. They weren't like, obviously they'd be like, don't be lazy, at least do some side jobs and do like go cut neighbor's grass or something. Yeah. You know?
And you know, it's like when that's like when I told my parents, like I think I was a freshman, I told them I didn't want to go to college. I knew I didn't want to go to college. Yeah. They were like, well, you got to do something. Yeah. And I was like, that was the whole reason why I'm not going to college. You know what I'm saying? Is I'm not going to college so I can stay home and smoke pot and play video games all day, right? Yeah. That's not the reason why I'm not going to college. If I wanted to do that, I would go to college to have an excuse to feel productive while I play video games and smoke pot, if that makes sense. Yeah. But it's like, we were talking about this yesterday too. It's like, I have he's technically an uncle, right? Mm-hmm. He's technically my uncle, but he actually got deported like maybe even, I don't know how long, 15 years ago maybe? I don't know. It could have been more. It was a good amount of time. But it's crazy because he was, so my uncle and my aunt, it was my uncle. He's full Mexican. It was like he had came here while he was really old, right? But he saw him that he was out there trying to make not a living, but like a side job, right? He was cutting grass for the neighbors and stuff. And then his dad, my uncle, my uncle, they're both my uncles technically, but his dad basically told him, oh, why are you doing work for the white man? You know what I'm saying? He's been saying like you're sucking up to them. And then, that threw off his whole mentality because in reality, he's not doing anything wrong. He's trying to
just make a living.
Yeah. And you know where he ended up off of that? He started getting into like drugs and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And he got caught and then he got deported. Yeah. And where did he's still there to this day.
That's one thing like about like immigrants. Like if you come to this country and then you start doing stupid shit, I could care less if somebody's treating you like shit. Yeah. Like if you're coming, like especially if your parents came here and then you're like a first generation immigrant, and then all you're doing is just doing drugs, getting into like gangs and stuff. And like, I'm like, well, what was the whole point of your parents making that huge sacrifice? And you come here to do some stupid shit and making like the rest of us look bad.
Did you see the Snapchat story I posted like earlier, like last night? It was like a little TikTok clip.
No.
It was like victim mentality, Hispanic. Look.
No, I haven't.
So basically, bro, it was basically me telling you about. It was like my dad came here, but his ass, but that has nothing to do with race, right? I really wanted to caption it so bad, like, bro, it's like, how are you a first gen person and wait, because you basically everything your parents did, you basically threw it in the trash. Yeah. Because let me tell you something. I mean, you know this, but you carry what they started. Mm-hmm. If you don't start anything, you don't go anywhere. Yeah. It ends there and it's trashed.
Yeah, it's trashed. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like this is one thing I've always said, right? My dad came here. My dad came from Mexico. He was able to do his thing and do really good. Mm-hmm. I should be able, and with all this advantages,
if not like meet up to it,
I should be able to do just as good and if not better. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because otherwise, there's like I know they like emphasize sacrifice, and then like some people may not get what that sacrifice means, but it's like you're putting away your whole life. It's like imagine if you're right here in the United States and you're like you have to go to a whole different country. Yeah, because you want a better life for your future kids. Like you're gonna be like, well, damn, I'm missing out on all my friends and family and everything. Yeah, like that's what they're doing. Like, especially since like my parents can't go back, so like they're still Well, they're like.
Are they residents?
They're like technically they pay taxes and everything now. Yeah. But they're not like allowed to go back. They have driver's license and all that.
Okay.
But they still can't go back. Like they weren't able to see, or my mom was not able to see, her dad get buried. Wow. Yeah. So like that's something that was really hard on her.
And you know
because like this was like 5 years ago when he passed away.
And the reason why they came here is to give you a better life, right?
To give me a better life, exactly. Yeah. But like that's incredibly hard that you're not even able to attend the funeral or even see them on their last days.
And if you think about it, the origin of why they're in that position is
because of me.
You.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like it's very easy. It's hard both ways. It's hard to face the reality. If you are in that position where you're throwing it in the trash, like we said, it's hard to own up to that. And it's also hard to realize that and do something about it, because one requires hard work and the other one requires like admitting fault. And that's something people don't really want to face.
Because that comes back to the whole thing of like how we were talking about, like some people are like, could be just brought in a good family. Their parents may not have much.
Yeah.
Or you're just grown up in like the hood and stuff. I mean, I was lucky enough to grow up, like my parents were never poor here in the United States. They were like, I guess, middle class.
Yeah.
But like, let's say for example, like I lived in somewhere in Richmond where it's not so nice, and then you're living in an apartment, and then your parents are barely making it by, but they're still working their ass off. So like, it's not like they're lazy or anything. They're just not getting paid like super well.
Yeah.
And then your parents are telling you like, hey, like you got to start working or whatever, because you need to help us out, or like you're not going to make it like that if you like. They may be like, yeah, go to school, but are you really going to take that seriously? Yeah. Because you're seeing your parents struggle, still busting their ass, working a job, but you might just fall into the same path as them, and they're like, well, I just got to start working construction or doing something.
This is another thing I was talking to my parents about yesterday. Is like the normal Hispanic stereotype. What is it?
Just construction.
Right. Okay. Right. So what do you think, like, when you think of a rich person, what is the stereotype? A rich, old, white male, right?
I guess in the States, yeah.
Yeah, here, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's also another thing what I was saying earlier, like, you only know what you know, right? If you grow up in the hood, that's what you know. So, like, let's just say, right, even with Hispanic people within your own race, they're the same ones that bring you down and try to keep you in that environment. Yeah. Because if the normal is...
your environment's key.
Yeah, if the normal thing is to work in construction... And people are going to try to push that on you, or that's what you see around you, right? What if this is one example I get my parents? I'm like, look, but what if I don't want to do the construction route?
Yeah.
What if I want to be like the rich white man, the rich old white man? I got to think like them and follow steps they take. But let's just say Hispanic, my own people would have noticed that. Like, oh, you're just trying to be like the white people. Oh, you're just trying to do this. Or because reality, why does rich have to do with American, with Caucasian male?
Yeah.
Doesn't. There's rich Hispanics, rich African Americans, rich white people, but that's just a stereotype that people have because.
Well, at the end of the day, we have different cultures and stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's like it's very easy to be brought down by your own people too.
Yeah, that's actually a fact though. Like you're the same people that bring you down.
Yeah.
Are like your own kind.
Yeah.
if you want to put it that way.
It's like I don't know. It's like I feel like, but that's also another reason why it's kind of
hard.
Because
like Mexicans, like one thing that makes them hardworking is not just themselves. It's like the people that they're working with, because you don't want to seem lazy compared to the other ones.
Oh yeah,
that's why they work so hard, because they're like, well, he's working hard, so I have to work hard.
Yeah,
and it's just a mentality. But like compared to like some other races, that's why.
Yeah,
they don't work as hard because they don't feel ashamed to work less. You know.
Yeah, it's like I feel like it's very normal for like a Hispanic person, or like, you know what I'm saying, like the normal is to work really. I think they encourage that. They almost well,
it's like your parents, like how your dad was saying, like I'm sure your dad was just like, you need to work construction or something, or was he pushing towards like school?
Well, I mean, a little bit of both, because no, and actually,
because that's what my parents was.
They pushed college on me.
Yeah.
So no, but my dad always had me working construction with him since I was like 12. During summers, I spent my whole summer there.
Yeah.
During COVID, I spent my whole thing working there. And so I liked working. I liked making money, right? Yeah. So that's kind of like where it started. But it's up to, even if he did push it, right? Even if he told me always go to school, go get into construction. Yeah. It's really up to you to really want to do it.
Yeah.
You can't force somebody to do something.
But it's like, they'll bring that up, but they won't even know how it's like. They're just like, go to school so you can become an engineer or a doctor. But I'm like, do you even want to know what, like, how that is?
Yeah.
Like, you have to study so much and then work like a boring job.
You know, like one example, my teacher. So oh, my bad.
No, go ahead.
My teacher from trade school came on Friday, and he told me that his mom always told him, make sure you get really good grades, in school, high school, everything. He always had really good grades.
Yeah.
When it was time to get into college, when he got accepted, she was like, oh, I'm not putting my name on any of those loans. So he wasn't able to go to college. I think he got accepted into Norfolk University, I think.
Yeah.
And so he felt like not, he said it almost like betrayed that, you know, he was told to do this and that, and when it was time to
do it,
like reap the reward of the sacrifice, he was almost like he wasn't allowed to because she wouldn't want to sign the loans.
Yeah.
But it's like I mean, everything happens for a reason. He's glad he didn't go to college and put himself in that position. So
yeah, I
feel like when something happens, good or bad, like earlier, like how you said, like the whole thing, like the airplane tickets and everything. Maybe y'all were meant to live that experience. You know what I'm saying?
Everything happens for a reason. I think God does He makes certain things happen for a reason.
It's like everything connects so perfectly.
Yeah.
And even if it may be upsetting or maybe not in the most convenient way at the time, you'll always be like, you know what? I'm glad this happened, because if that didn't happen, it wouldn't have led to this.
Because if you put God in every situation, there's a reason for everything.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. Like if, let's say, for example, like that plane, the way that she scheduled those planes. Let's say, for example, we got on the other plane. Like, God forbid that plane falls down, you know, if we were, you know, something like that. Of course, it didn't happen, but, like, you know, certain things happen for a reason. Maybe it was just to bring us closer during that New York day trip. Yeah. And then on the way back on that drive to have a conversation that we wouldn't have had. Yeah. Something like that.
It's like life is perfect.
Yeah,
life is perfect. But yeah.
Because, like, 2 years ago, I went through a really hard heartbreak. You know, it's like a really hard one.
We've all been there.
Yeah, we all been there. So, but that's what got me into the mentality of, like, I need to be, like, I need to work on myself and work my ass off. Of course, I did do that, but I didn't enjoy myself too much, but then I was enjoying myself too much. And then God, he humbled me a little bit by injuring me.
Oh, okay, damn.
So so I was like, you know how I was going to the gym?
Oh, yeah.
Like for a whole 2 years straight. And then I'm still working on my Amazon business. I got injured back in October.
Can I take a guess?
Yeah, go.
Shoulder?
No.
Back?
No.
Damn.
Well, I thought it was back.
Okay.
You're close. No. It was actually my so let me just tell you the whole story real quick. That way it makes sense, and then you'll be able to know why I thought of it. So I was doing legs, right? And I was like, my legs have always been the weakest part, and I try to focus mainly on legs. So I was doing weights for, like, legs 3 times a week, and then I was getting pretty bulky. I was like, my highest, like, my peak was like 200 pounds, and I was just like, I wasn't like shredded or anything, but it was just like it felt good to weigh that much and then to be strong.
Yeah.
And then, like, just one day I was doing legs, and then, like, I feel like a numbing and tingling sensation on the bottom of my feet. I'm like, damn, I was like, what the hell is this? Yeah. And then it just didn't go away. And then it lasted for like a whole week, and then it turned into 2 weeks. And then I was like months in, and I looked into it. I was like, oh, it's a pinched nerve. I'm like, a pinched nerve? I'm like, that means it's in my back. So that means I did something to my back to fuck it up. Oh, damn. So, dude, I kid you not, from like December of 2022 all the way up until, I want to say March, I didn't know what the fuck I had.
Oh, shit.
I thought I had like a pinched nerve the entire time. But then they're like, afterwards, after blood tests, MRIs, and then EMG tests, which EMGs are like these electronic magnetic something, but they put like
is it what they put inside of you?
It's like a little pen basically, and they hook these things up to your hands.
Yeah.
And they give you a little shock, and then your hand moves by itself.
Okay.
And it tests to see if the nerve is working right. So it turns out I had on my hands I have it's called cubital tunnel syndrome. So basically, this two right here, the nerve right here, and the nerves right here, if I bend my elbow for too long, they'll start to fall asleep. Oh, Yeah, but the thing with my legs, which is why I had like numbness from like November all the way up to like I would say until June.
Yeah.
Like I still get it every now and then, but it's not as bad because I'm still healing from it. But it was just it would hurt. It would burn my feet. My feet would feel like I'm not like they're numb.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the hell I had, so it was like until March. Then when I finally after all those tests, I went to my primary doctor and they were like, "Oh, you just have plantar fasciitis." So essentially, you know that tendon on the bottom of your foot, basically flat feet. Think about it that way. So like you know how your foot has an arch.
Yeah.
So essentially, my foot was kind of flat because I was wearing Converse. So you know how like humans were meant to like your toes are supposed to be spread out like this technically, like if you think about it. Not exactly like this, but like that. But when you're wearing Converse or any like Vans, for example, or close to a shoe that's like narrow, your toes are like this, and that's not good for your feet. That's why I started developing like flat feet. That's why I will never wear Vans ever again or Converse. Okay. I had to get this like special insert to help heal that get that arc back and heal my foot. Huh. Yeah, dude. Because for the longest time, I didn't know what the hell I had. They thought I had lupus. Do you know what that is?
I've heard of it.
It's an autoimmune disease. Yeah.
Okay.
And because like so I got hit with a double whammy basically. My feet were numb, they were burning, and then my hands right here they would get I feel a numbing right here.
Okay.
Then my face started getting red, like it would just burn. Like right now, since it's kind of hot in this room, like my ears I know they're kind of hot, but it's just because of the headphones.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Okay. Do you want to?
No, you're good. No, but I'm just saying.
Okay, yeah.
Like so, like it's got this other thing called rosacea.
Okay.
You know what that is?
I don't.
Okay, so I don't get it anymore that often, but like from all that stress of not knowing what I had, I've always had rosacea, but I just didn't know it. From all that stress, after work every single day, like my face would just get red and my ears would get like bloodshot red.
Okay.
Because of all the stress. So one thing that causes rosacea is stress, alcohol, and then sometimes they'll just get flare-ups and stuff. So, but it's like a kind of like sunburn almost.
Okay.
And your face gets all red and it burns.
Huh.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So that happened all within this past year, really. But that's why I said like God was he works in perfect ways, and he was redirecting my life in a way that needed me to like chill out for a second, you know.
It's good. I mean, and
because I was working out, or I was overworking myself, but then I was also, I guess wasn't not being a good Christian, I guess. It's not like I was doing anything horrible, but I mean, all sins are the same, I guess.
Yeah.
Or what they are, you know.
Yeah.
I just wasn't, like, I was just talking, I was on those dating apps, you know. Yeah.
You were?
Yeah. But that's why now, I wouldn't advocate for those, like, that's why, if you want to, like, especially since you're young, I'd stay away from the dating apps, stay away from the clubs.
The reason why I have Tinder right now is
for like, the podcast.
But I told you. It's like I still, you know, I slept on the thing you told me, like the 50% off. Mm-hmm. I was like,
you got it?
No, I saw the offer pop up and I was like, oh, whatever, I'll get it some other time. It'll pop up.
It'll pop up again. No.
Yeah, but I go on there to check it. It hasn't popped up back yet. But
yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah.
Usually it pops up, and then if you don't take like initiative on it, then it goes away, and then it comes back. It's always gonna come back. It's always been. I was on it for like 2 years.
But yo, Dave, what are we at?
We had 2 hour,
2:30. Damn.
He's technically you're the longest recording so far.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's the record.
Let me ask you something.
Put my face on the wall.
Yo, that's why we take pictures, because eventually we're gonna put every single picture up on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Polaroids.
Oh, Polaroids? Okay, cool.
And it'll be like on the wall so people can. You come in here, your picture will be on the
wall.
I
enjoy this podcast stuff.
Do you?
Yeah. So it's cool because like this and the mic, so it's different when I take it off like this.
Yeah, it's like it's so bland. Like,
yeah. But like right here, I'm like focused, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, I can hear everything you're saying. I don't have to say like, wait, what do you mean?
Yeah, it's like perfect. I don't know. But if it like, just like to, is there something I didn't bring up or something you want to talk about?
No, dude, we pretty much covered everything.
I think it was a really good conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
keep God first, stay away from clubs.
Keep God first and stay away from clubs.
Yeah,
so.
biggest advice. And work hard.
And for sure. Right.
Work hard, do your thing. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm not in the position to say that because I'm still not where I'm supposed to be.
But I mean, at least you're on the right path, and you have that in the back of your head. So.
Yeah,
that's
but like for somebody like you, that's like I mean, you've had some experiences, I guess. I'm not gonna take away from your knowledge, but it's one thing I would never advocate. Just focus. Don't focus on girls. Don't focus on girls. Focus on your.
Why do you think?
Huh?
Why do you think this started?
Why do you think this started?
Yeah, but
there's some trauma.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's definitely some trauma behind this. Cameraman knows this, but. But I appreciate you for coming on, bro.
Yeah, dude, it's fun. We got to do it again with Danny one day.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. After this, bro, with Danny in there, it will be a good ass conversation. Yeah. Like I said, like y'all two are like people I use as an example of like where I want to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even though you may feel like, oh, I'm not where I want to be.
Yeah. To be honest, no. But
it's but other people might.
They might like, use it as a like kind of how like I use my friend.
Connor.
Yeah. Kind of how I use my friend.
Exactly like that. So you might like you're a Connor to me, Danny's a Connor to me, and someone else, his name is Kevin. One of Danny's buddies.
Yeah.
Is also
an inspiration.
It's like a Connor to me. So
yeah, true.
And it's like the fact that I had Danny on the podcast, I have you on the podcast, and the other way Kevin is also going to be on the podcast. Like when I'm doing this recording, I'm not here talking for the camera. I'm learning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is like my chance to kind of like
learn and be inspired.
Ask questions like, damn, like why do they think like that? Or question like that. Yeah. So, but I appreciate you for coming on, bro.
Yeah, man.
It means a lot. And even if people don't watch till the end, or some people don't watch it, one thing I talked about with another podcaster, his name is Zach. I was like, even if this whole file were to get corrupted, it's trashed. I enjoyed the conversation. You know what I'm saying?
I did too.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you for coming on, bro. But
yeah, man.
That's where we're gonna end it. Later.
See you.
That was good, bro. Like I'm.